Buddy, welcome back to the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Wednesday. It's Pro Wrestling Weekly. We have a kind of a small break from football, but we are doing a watch along tomorrow night for the qualifiers, Czechia versus Ireland. So make sure you join us for that. We will be live around 7:30. But as always, it's pro wrestling tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. The panel is assembled. The Avengers are in place. The future world champion is in the background there, rocking the donut necklace and all, but it's all good. We're going to do it. We're going to do it tonight. We're going to review Raw. We're obviously going to be talking about the passing of one of the greats of tag team wrestling, the man who epitomizes tag team wrestling, along with beautiful Bobby, one Dennis Condrey. So we're going to be talking about that as well. We're going to take a look at the WrestleMania card. We're going to be talking about if you want to take a trip on Cody Rhodes' bus, or if you want to make pasta in a class in Italy. We will be talking about that. We have a very special offer for you tonight on that. So make sure you have your credit cards ready for that. We're also going to be talking about the Hall of Fame. Obviously, we got two more inductees going in. We will chat about that. And Keith has raised an issue on the Hall of Fame. He wants to talk about people potentially who should not be in there and people who aren't in there already that maybe should be.
Wonder where you
So
got
that's
that
our
idea from.
little topic for tonight. We're going to be talking about poor El Tamatonga and the talk that the MFTs are going to be breaking up.
Good.
Talk about that. Dave is going to touch on Tony Storm, I would imagine, going out.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to be talking about the Bella signing a new 2-year contract. We're also going to be talking about Tony Khan, who potentially nearly bought WWE in 2023. And we're going to be talking, we'll get a different dynamic on this. We're going to be talking about what would the wrestling landscape look like right now if AEW had bought WWE. Would we have Monday Night Dynamite? And would we have Sunday Night Raw? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We're going to give you an update on the ticket sales from All In. We're obviously going to be talking about, obviously, Ted DiBiase being cleared of all the charges. And we're also going to be touching on Chuck Norris, of course, who made an appearance at Survivor Series, of course. And a little comment from Slaughter as well. So there's a bit in there, a bit of history and all that kind of good stuff. But, of course, we'll start with Dennis Condrey, a man who got me originally interested in tag team wrestling when I used to watch Jim Crockett Promotions on the old screen sport back in the 80s. Absolutely phenomenal wrestler. Him and beautiful Bobby along with Jim Cornette, the Midnight Express. What can we say, folks? Absolutely incredible. And of course, Sweet Stan Lane coming in afterwards, of course. But the lover boy Dennis Condrey, of course, and beautiful Bobby, what they epitomized what it meant to be tag team wrestling. Unbelievable feuds, of course, with the Freebirds, but their biggest one, of course, was with the Rock and Roll Express, which went on for near a decade, believe it or not. When we talk about long-term storytelling, a tag team feud that went on from, I think, 84 into the mid-90s and transcended across, I think, 3 different promotions at the time and all. That's what we talk about in terms of long-term storytelling, isn't it? Anyone else want to add on the passing of Dennis Condrey? Obviously, very difficult time in his life later on and stuff and all. But
that touching on the late 80s, early 90s, it's what he gave to the business as well. Because if you look at Dennis Condrey, I believe that 10-year feud was with Paul Heyman as well, wasn't it? When Heyman had the new Rock and Roll Express, is that right? And then
that's right.
Cornette had the two of them. I remember watching little videos of the backstage brawls that they had, where they used to put each other through the tables and everything like that on Jim Crockett Promotions. But without him, Paul Heyman even alludes to the fact that he probably wouldn't be who he was today if it wasn't for what he learned from Dennis Condrey when he was in that feud, the Rock and Roll Express feud. So to know that, regardless of the problems he had later in life, that tag team is so important to the business, not just from a tag team point of view, but from a managerial point of view, from a foundation point of view, that there's a lot of people that he gave advice and gave insight to that said they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So it's a massive loss, and it's a hard one to take because of what he's given.
Yeah, I think people on the podcast, viewers and subscribers and all, often hear me barking on about tag team wrestling and stuff like that. And it's for this reason that I talk about it with such passion and stuff like that. I describe tag team wrestling as being the art within the art. And that's how I really view it and stuff like that. And it's just, that's why I go absolutely ballistic these days when I see what happens in tag divisions and stuff like that and all. Brennan, Dad, Keith, anyone who wants to jump in?
I was just going to ask you, Niall, did you get to see them from the very start, or when did you get to see them?
Well, no, I mean Dennis Condrey, I think, started in the mid 70s to mid to late 70s and stuff like that. So at that stage, I was kind of like, I started following wrestling probably around 83, 84, and then when we got the original cable link TV into
Yeah.
Ireland, that came in around 86, I think it was 85, 86. We had obviously the Sky Channel, and then we had Screen Sport.
Yeah.
With Super Sport and Screen Sport. And on Screen Sport, they used to show Jim Crockett promotions at about 11 o'clock at night. So we used to tape it and stuff like that and watch it. But it was just, I watched all those things live. Like, remember when Animal nearly lost his eye when they were doing the bench press competition and all this kind of stuff. And the horseman chasing Dusty down the motorway to the motel and breaking his arm. And all. So I watched all that live on TV and all. It was such a special time. And it was like, there was just, I used to love watching WWE because they were just larger than life characters and stuff like that and all.
Yeah.
But then I used to watch Jim Crockett promotions, and there was just a realism. There was a kind of a gritty kind of camcordery realism to it.
Yeah.
And it's like what I said before. Like I used to watch WWE back in the early 2000s and stuff like that. When I watched it kind of for the entertainment and the spectacle. But if I wanted to purely watch wrestling, I would watch like Ring of Honor or TNA or something like that, you know what I mean? Where you'd really get those real good matches and stuff like that in the depths of wrestling and stuff, you know? So, and it followed through. It was the same back in the 80s when I started watching and stuff like that and all. But yeah, I always remember as well, I used to kind of cringe as well at times. You know, I'd look away. Remember when Beautiful Bobby used to drop that knee onto people's foreheads from the second rope?
Yeah.
And I used to think, Jesus. And I know he used to time it perfectly because his foot had hit the mat and he kind of flip over. But when I was much younger like that, I didn't know the mechanics of the business, if you like. And I used to think, how's he not caving your man's forehead in there? You know what I mean? And I remember he used to get up on the rope and he'd pull the knee pad down and everything. So he'd be going in with like the kneecap and all, like just little things like that.
He was one of the most underrated talents in WCW in a time where they were trying to build stars. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, because I remember there was a few people like Triple H and Austin that spoke about him when they were in WCW. Austin had a feud with him, obviously, but like they say that he was the most underutilized talent in WCW because he came from the likes of USWA, World Class Championship Wrestling and stuff like that. Because he came from the territories, they were like, So that's so disrespectful to one of the best wrestlers going. Like,
I think, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is as well? And I'm not throwing shade here in any way because I'm a huge fan of it and stuff like that. But there's just wrestlers there from the 80s that just never evolved. Like, I think if you watch Beautiful Bobby in the 90s and stuff like that, and you watch him in the 80s, it's pretty much the same. Just the ring gear and the hair kind of changed a little bit. But everything else, the ring work and stuff is still the same. And I loved it because it's what I grew up on and stuff like that. So it's not shade in any way. But there's just some guys who just never really evolved, you know? Like, look at Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette's Jim Cornette. If he doesn't have a tennis racket, he's not Jim Cornette. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. And I just think that's the way, and that's not a bad thing, but it's just the way the business kind of evolved, and then you were moving into the Monday Night Wars, and wrestling got a lot more edgier and stuff like that. These guys were very much from that old school era.
Who was the English talent or the English wrestler that was in USWA in the 80s, or no, in the 80s? Not Gentleman Chris Adams. Gentleman Chris Adams, wasn't it?
Yeah, he worked down in Texas as well. Remember, he worked with the Von Erichs. He worked with the Von Erichs as well. Yeah, he used to do a lot of work down there. They actually did a Dark Side of the Ring on him, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did a Dark Side of the Ring on him. Yeah, and Gino Hernandez at the time as well. They were two of the big stars down in Texas at the time with the Von Erichs.
Are these guys in the Hall of Fame, are they, or did he go in yet?
No. There's been a block on this. There's been a kind of a block on this. They've reached out a couple of times now, but Cornette is adamant. I think he's kind of blocking it. Based on his feelings in relation to the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. I know they have tried a number of times. Certainly they 100% deserve to be in there, you know what I mean? But it's just...
There's a lot that deserve to be in there, but like Niall said, Jim Cornette and a few of even the families just don't want them in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like, if there was a Hall of Fame nationally for, like, outside of WWE, if there was like a National Wrestling Hall of Fame, like an NWA style, I would have more respect for that Hall of Fame than I do already for the shit heap that is the WWE Hall of Fame, if I'm honest.
I think there's pros and cons both sides of it and stuff like that. I think the issue is that there's an appetite for an actual bricks and mortar Hall of Fame, somewhere where you can go and visit. You know, kind of like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and stuff like that and all, you know. So I think that's kind of what it's missing now. They've moved they have something, kind of a version of it over in Saudi, don't they? That experience thing and stuff like that.
They need to have in Connecticut. They should have it in Stamford, Connecticut. It should be a museum and Hall of Fame.
I just don't know
but even that aside, when they started the Hall of Fame, when they started doing the ceremonies and all that, they gave us too much too quickly.
I agree.
That all started. That started in 2004-ish. No, 2005, 2006. And there's a block there. And Noel, you've been to the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Well, no, Andre went in. Andre went in the 90s. No,
there was, but I'm talking about. I'm talking about the proper ceremonies when they started to show them as part of their. They gave us too much, like Hogan and Piper going in on the one, which is understandable, and it was predicted back then as well, because I remember talking to people back then, and it's like they're going to run out of people. They're going to run out of people rapidly, and this is where we find ourselves today. Now, there could be people within the Hall of Fame, but you're talking like there's something missing with the Hall of Fame now, and it's because, in my opinion, they overshot it way too quickly.
But what they did was they took away the essence of the Hall of Fame by making it a stadium show and a revenue generating thing. Hall of Fame used to be free. You used to get it with your SmackDown ticket or as part of your package, and it was free. And it was that night where the fans got the opportunity to pay respects to those who have gone before it and stuff like that, and who have shaped the business and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just a case of generating revenue and stuff.
$170 for the nosebleeds.
Yeah, and it's just. I mean, we went to the Hall of Fame back in 2005. I think it was WrestleMania 22. We got Brett and Eddie getting inducted and stuff like that and all. But it was in the Rosemount Theatre. There was 2,500 people there, and they gave us Gold and Boss programs and T-shirts, and we got medallion medals, and it was all free. Like, it was all part of the package. Like, it was insane.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. The essence of it now is really gone at this stage. You know what I mean? It's more kind 100%. Of like. Just a tip in the hat kind of thing now. More
give it 5 years. Give it 5 years, Brandon. We'll be overflowing again because you've got.
I hope so.
Rollins, Reigns, Cena.
Well,
Rock,
it's not like if somebody brings up the WWE Hall of Fame to me, right? Immediately, what comes to my mind is Roddy Piper's Hall of Fame speech. Immediately, Dusty Rhodes' Hall of Fame speech, and all of those moments that come to my mind are from a good bit ago. Nothing too recent. Edges.
Agreed.
You knew now when it went to the stadium shows, because I was at Dusty's and I was at Flair's as well. You do know when it went to the stadiums. I think Flair's one, was nearly. I think at 25 was the first. Was that the first stadium one? I think I'm not too sure, but what they did was they cut it down, and because they were doing it, and it was only an hour, and it used to be on USA or whatever it was on one of the channels, and it could only run for an hour. And what they'd have Dusty Rhodes coming out on stage to the Hall of Fame, and on the far side of the stadium, facing the wrestler on stage talking, was a big huge countdown clock, and they all only got 5 minutes. Yeah, and you were cut off then after that on the network and so on.
I think Mr. T. I think that's Mr. T's fault.
Yeah, but like if you think about a guy like Dusty Rhodes who's been inducted into the Hall of Fame, how would you induct a guy like that and say, right, mate, you've got 5 minutes? That guy could talk 5 minutes about the Hard Times promo.
Especially now that he's gone. I mean, to have a longer speech by Dusty. I mean, like even today, we go back to some of Dusty's promos. They were brilliant. And anybody, even recent fans, I'm talking fans of the last 10 years, go back. Dusty Rhodes' promo stands up to today. Ric Flair's 80s and 80s promos, incredible. Different ball game.
Well, you got the alligator shoes, don't you? And then you also got the lemon pepper steppers. So people do put their own slant on things and stuff. But listen, we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame a little bit later anyway. We won't get too caught up in it. R.I.P. Dennis Condrey. You're now back up there with beautiful Bobby. I'm sure having great tag matches up in heaven and stuff like that. And also, thoughts and prayers go out to the family and all, and especially to his wife as well, who Keith was saying the other day he had an accident with a broken neck, and the wife was only, I think, a week away from retiring to look after him. So that must be heartbreaking that she didn't get there. Well. She probably feels herself that like she's nearly, she's carrying the baggage of that as well, which is really.
Imagine having a freak accident like that and the amount of wrestling you've been through for over 40 years or something. And a freak accident like that.
It could happen to any of us at any moment. Like, it's crazy. Trip over a cable and you're done. Do you know that type of way? It's like.
Do you know something? Although it's horrible and we don't want anyone to die and it's a freak accident, there's kind of something poetic about it as well, isn't it? A wrestler of this quality and stuff like that he goes out and he dies from a bump. you know, that kind of way when he's not even wrestling and stuff like that. So there's a kind of a romantic, poetic kind of slant to it as well, you know what I mean? And maybe that's the way he was supposed to go. You know, he had gone through a number of battles of cancer. I'm sure this was reasonably quick the way it happened and stuff like that compared to long battles with cancer and stuff like that as well. So maybe this was the way he was supposed to go. You know, we just never know, you know. But listen, R.I.P. Dennis Condrey, one of the greats, no doubt about it. Right. Let's bring it down a notch now and talk about Raw. Brent, let's bring it right down a notch now and talk about Raw. Right,
to the floor.
Ahead, Brent, kick us off.
Look, we all have to go through it, so I won't go too much into it. I will say this. Brock Lesnar gave Obi-Femi a lot. He gave him a lot, and I thought that was really cool of him. There's one thing I want to clear up as well. Two things, actually. Those cheers for Obi-Femi were not piped on Raw on Monday. I'm going to say that here and now. Phenomenal, right? Number one. Number two. I deserve that. And I take that one on the chin, right? I can't, but you can't prove otherwise either, right?
Dave Dave's a sound guy.
Piped in, man.
Yeah, Dave is pretty sound. But
I'm a sound guy, right? But I tell you what, Bren, those Oba chants, Oba fucking piped in, pal. 110%.
Come here to me. I just want to make something very, very clear as well, because Dean Ambrose was mentioned, obviously. And I want to make something very, very clear.
Oh,
hang on. Dean Ambrose is not coming back to the WWE.
No, he's not.
No, I know that. But there's people online saying, oh, it's happening.
No,
it's not happening. He's contracted till the end of 2027. Bullshit. And look, I'll be tackling the headlines next week. Within the next few days anyway.
After
bullshit, right? Yeah, there will be a news desk and it's coming. I'm not even messing. Also, look, the tag team match, look, it was all right. We knew what the story was there. Tom Brady's coming to WWE, by the way. He's coming to WrestleMania. That's very, very clear. Best line of the night. I murdered the Divas era. You may have mastered it, but I'm gonna murder the Divas era. Well done, Becky Lynch.
I disagree.
Quality line.
I disagree. I think the oil and jizz comment for CM Punk takes the biscuit.
the oil and jizz comment was ridiculous. But the fact that they're acknowledging, look, AJ Lee is deadly, but she's deadly because she was in the minor leagues of women wrestling. The minor leagues of women's wrestling, and that being the Divas era. Here, listen. This is not even a hill.
Principal's office.
Hamburgs.
This is not even a hill. This is just a fact. Look, lads, I'm gonna come here. Breaker's coming back. That promo from Paul Heyman, everything is leading up to Breaker coming back. Noel, you're a bleeding genius. You're dead right. Breaker's coming back. Well done, my friend. I just want to say separately before I get into my favorite moment, the Kabuki Warriors were outstanding. Always outstanding. And I just want to say I love the Kabuki Warriors. Look, the match of the night for me was the Intercontinental Championship match. It was absolutely phenomenal. I want to say, like, genuinely well done to the two of them. The comeback of Finn Balor might have been a bit obvious, but it was really, really cool. Penta, as always, phenomenal. The main event thing. Oh, one more thing. Jey Uso throughout the night was dynamite. He was gold. I won't hear a bad word. Jey Uso was deadly throughout the night. The way he went back in and get that cheap shot earlier on in the night, and the way he was talking to Joe, he was like, "Get back in there, Joe. Knock the bollocks out of him. Punch his face in." I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's exactly what Jey did. The aggression that Jey is shown is different level. And Noel, it's another thing you called a while ago, right? I can see your face. Yeah. I wonder who said that.
I'll just sit back. Go ahead, lads. I'll just sit back. Go ahead.
What are you messing? But look,
no,
I have to
keep going.
I have to look. In all honesty, Raw wasn't as strong as it has been in recent weeks. It wasn't a great Raw. It was okay. The only thing I would call out is the IC match was the best match of the night. It was good that there was an altercation between CM Punk and Roman Reigns as well. That needed to happen. It's great hearing them talk, going back and forward and saying this and saying that, but it was nice to see that. And then Jey, that aggression in Jey was just, I was like this, oh, get him. Yeah, Jey, you tell him, you're the new tribal chief, up out of that. But yeah, look, Raw was all right. I'll pass it on.
Absolutely. Who's next? Keith, talk to me about your girl trying to attack my girl and she got shown what's what.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wanted more of this, to be honest with you, but it was only a few
Sure.
Yeah, to be honest, I was hoping they're going to stay backstage for a couple of more minutes and attack.
What's the logic, though, Keith? What's the
Well-
logic? Why is the goodie attacking the baddie from behind?
Ask Triple H.
The
He's the one that's
goodie's
booking this.
confused.
You know, I don't know.
The goodie's very concerned about her run with the belt so far.
Well, it's going to be stripped anyway, unfortunately. Look,
more won than stripped, I would say.
I wanted more of it backstage because I was enjoying it, to be honest. Like what Bren was saying, I agree with what he's saying. To be honest with you, it was an okay Raw. It wasn't strong. I actually enjoyed the Grayson Waller match. I thought that was a good match, to be honest.
It was nice to see Waller.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match, to be honest. Yeah, the whole Becky thing, I think she's a bit over dramatic sometimes. You need to just pull it down a peg or two. Like, she's a good heel, but she just goes a bit over the top sometimes.
That's a character, though. That's
I know, but she's just a bit over the top sometimes.
She'll be bleeding raging when she hears that you said that. She'll be so pissed off with you.
Good. Yeah, look, I've no more else to say, to be honest. The Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, I can see what they're doing. They weren't really giving too much away because they wanted to keep it going for another couple of more weeks. The backstage segment with Danhausen and I Show Speed. I just don't like I Show Speed at all.
Tread easy.
I know.
Why?
I'm just not a fan of him, to be honest.
The man has half the planet following him at this stage. That's why he's there.
Yeah, but Kim Kardashian has half the planet following her. You don't necessarily need talent to have.
That's why she's been there.
She has. I brought it up in the WrestleMania video on the channel yesterday. It's look, Keith, I totally agree with you. There's no place for I Show Speed, in my opinion. An influencer shouldn't exist. And
Snooki had a match at WrestleMania, remember?
That doesn't justify you. I agree with you. And justifies nothing. She shouldn't have been anywhere near a wrestling ring. And WWE should be ashamed of themselves.
And this is when she was mad into his Jersey Shore as well.
I got a Jersey Shore, bitch.
You're not getting away with that.
Jersey Shore was quality, lad. The situation and all. What's wrong with you?
You're not getting away with that either.
What are you talking
I'm looking
about?
up at you now. I'm looking up at you now. You're not getting away with that either.
You're gonna tell me now you're not a fan of reality TV again, are you? Just saying. You're gonna tell me you're not a fan of reality TV.
I don't like reality.
You're a waffler. Anyway. Stop it. You're a waffler. All you do is come in here and all you do is you're waffling.
Did anybody think we were going to get Braun Breaker that night when Paul Heyman came out? Because I thought we were going to get him.
No.
Not too soon.
Not a chance.
Too soon.
No.
Yeah, look, overall, it was a 7 out of 10 for me. It was a good ending to Raw, though, when you were saying about Jey Uso. I like that part when he was trying to say, go spear him and I'll take him out. That was cool.
Sharon, tell us, what do you not like about Liv Morgan? She is absolutely sensational.
She's great.
She's amazing.
It's great.
Unbelievable. She has it all, lads.
Did you see her chugging the beer?
Yeah, but did you see her video? She's been putting up the work she's been putting in the dungeons and stuff and that. She's out there chain wrestling with lads and everything else. She's insane. Well, if that's the case, Logan Paul should not be there either.
So, Sharon, the difference is Logan Paul backs it up in the ring, and I'm not sure if we've talked about this before.
He's full time now.
Like he shows up every week, and he backs it up in the ring. I was raging when I heard Logan Paul was coming to WWE. In fact, I used to get him and Paul, the other Paul brother, mixed up. I was not happy, but do you know what? Logan Paul has not had a bad match since he came to WWE, and in fact, he's had a better match than a lot of the roster. He's had a more consistent run than a lot of the roster, and that's saying something.
Brian, could you say he's kind of like a Kurt Angle in the way he's took to the business?
Let's not get too crazy.
No,
Jesus Christ, Keith.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you in the ring, because you know, like, the ring very quick. That's for sure.
Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. We'll catch you next
Thanks
for joining us tonight, folks. We'll catch you next week.
Look, I
With
know
one less podcaster.
NCAA Division 1 champions and Logan Paul, the
Broken neck,
YouTuber.
Olympic gold
I mean,
medalist.
fucking hell.
I know what you're trying to
I
say.
know what Kate meant. He's only there the wet day and he looks at home and all.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to
fell off
say.
his chair.
Yeah, Sean
But I
Mack's a bit
wouldn't-
drunk at the moment.
I wouldn't
just
put them in the same
fainted.
sentence. I wouldn't put them in the same sentence.
Sean, Raw.
I didn't faint. I was looking for my laptop charger, but I wasn't far off after hearing that. Logan Paul, Kurt Angle in the same sentence in comparison shouldn't be. They're both American and they both wrestled. End of comparison. I thought Raw was pretty. Is that dry bread you're eating, Brent?
Yes, it's dry bread. Yep, he's brought it in for the controversy.
Amazing. I thought Raw was pretty solid. I really like the Obafemi Brock Lesnar stuff. People have always said it's a sign that Brock likes you when he sells for you. He very clearly likes Obafemi, so I think that'd be great because motivated Brock Lesnar is brilliant. When he goes in and does his one trick, his one routine, and doesn't change it at all, he's not fun. But I have a feeling we might get more. Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus the Usos. I don't know what LA Knight was doing. I don't really understand why he came out, gave him brass knuckles, and then made a big song and dance out of it when he got disqualified for doing the very illegal thing against the heels who really should have been doing that, but never mind. AJ and Becky, I don't know. I don't think they have any chemistry, really, which is shocking because it's a dream match on paper anyway. Javon Evans and Grayson's cool. More interested in Javon Evans and Kofi potentially linking up. It seems, I didn't really realize that New York is to Boston what England is for Ireland. Very, very, very bad. Like as soon as New York was mentioned, MSG was mentioned, Bailey got booed really heavily. So maybe not the best idea, but then again, Raw is there next week. But they could have just done the video at the end of the show showing what was next week. Stephanie beating up Liv was great. Penta and Dominic was pretty good. Great to see Finn come out. And I don't know how to feel about the Roman Reigns and Punk promos. They're brilliant. They're really, really, really good. But the fact that it's main evented Raw for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, and they get like a full 30 minutes, including entrances and promos, is a bit much, but they're really, really, really good. And though I feel that they've been level with each other in terms of their barbs, I think Roman has been a little bit of a step behind. And the fact that he got physical, I think, really brought him back up. And the fact that Jey Uso ordered him as if it was 2022 and the other way around, where Rome was ordering him to do it. It feels like he's taken on a lot of the abusive and
scumbag. Sorry, not you, Sean. I can't keep my mouth anymore. Fuck off, Bren, you absolute scumbag, which are fucking chemically laced.
Not even a glass of rice or nothing, like straight on the neck. Look.
How can you make a drink seem dry?
God,
that's amazing.
I wasn't even looking. What was you doing?
All I was saying with Jey Uso is a bit like Roman now.
I bit my tongue for too long watching that fucking ZX fucking straight out of Pfizer, fucking cola.
Oh dear.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry, Sean.
Sorry, Dave. No, I thought it was really cool. I feel with abusive behavior, when you have it early on, you start to inhibit it in your own life, and I feel that all the abuse and torment that Roman Reigns, when he was at his prime as the OTC, put Jey Uso through, he's starting to reflect that. And I never thought in my lifetime I would say this, but just at this moment, and you can mark it down, whatever today's date is,
clip this,
the 25th of March 2026. I am vaguely interested in the character of main event Jey Uso. I still skip his entrance every time.
Run it back. Say that again.
I am at this point in time on the 25th of March, mildly captivated by main event Jey Uso. I'm interested in him as a character. Now, every time I see the entrance, I run. But the promos and the storyline going into WrestleMania is very interesting. And of course,
their entrance was 7 minutes on Raw, by the way.
Oh dear, good thing it went through an outbreak. And
it's worth every bit of it.
Yeah, and if some people say, "Oh, I'm not really feeling the road to WrestleMania this year," it doesn't really feel like it. Well, now it does, because there's a really unnecessary arrest angle leading up, It seems like we get that every year. Seth Rollins arrested, and then Paul Heyman went on a bit of a rant. Then he came back and punched him, but it was what he wanted. So more than likely he'll be out. Like, I don't know, as soon as next week. He's probably even out now. I don't know, parading the streets of Boston looking for Paul Heyman. I don't know, but no, I thought it was a good episode of Raw. I'm still not totally hooked into WrestleMania, but I think this was a good episode nonetheless.
What's happening with LA Knight, lads? Like, what are they doing with him?
He's just popping in to seem relevant every now and again.
You know.
For me, sorry,
go ahead, Dave. No, you go.
For me, Raw was okay. It was a bit scattered, but I wonder with this Roman Reigns and Jey Uso thing if they're maybe teasing something for later on in the year or planting the seed for it now, where we have Roman versus Jey, as in who's the tribal chief now, blah, blah, blah. I don't know whether we'll get that after WrestleMania. Maybe we will. Seth Rollins, I don't know where they're going with this this Seth Rollins thing, because are we gonna get Seth Rollins at Mania? Are we gonna get him in a match at Mania?
Breaker, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but you know, I'd love a build up for something like that. We need a build up with Breaker and Seth, because Breaker's obviously going to be heel now.
If that's
Breaker's obviously going to be the heel. Seth's going to be the face.
I don't think, like I said last week, Dave, I don't think we're going to get Breaker until London night.
Which, I mean, if you're going for the pop, 110%.
Well, no, how long is it now? 2-3 weeks till Mania, is it? Something like that?
3 weeks.
Three.
It's over 3.
Three.
It's it. What you just said there, Dave.
2 weeks from Saturday. No, 2 weeks from Saturday.
What you said there, Dave, was interesting. You said Breaker's going to be the bad guy. I don't think so. I understand what you're saying.
Seth is face at the moment.
No, 100%. But I just don't think the fans are going to boo Breaker. I just don't see it. Because I think they're going to be right behind him. 100%.
But he's going to come back to the division. He has to, because that's where he was when Seth left. And fuck off, Anto, Mars Bars. If you haven't tried it, don't knock it.
That's a bit weird. Anyway.
Mars Bars are deadly.
Heart attack on a stick.
Hold on. Mars Bars are deadly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
that's my favorite comment. That's my favorite comment.
They have caramel in them, so Brand's like, ugh, something vaguely moisturous, you know.
Get away from me.
Did you see the clip of LA Knight slipping when he jumped?
I introduced them the other morning to white chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Like a tall boy. He got excited.
That's your first one, Brand, was it? Pop your cherry, did you?
Yeah. Pop your cherry.
Must have been like cavemen discovering technology.
Brand, you wanted to add something on Raw?
Did you? No, I did not. I was just saying to Dave that I don't necessarily think that Breaker's going to get booed. That's it. I think even if he goes back to division, because I think when he gets back anyway, they're going to break up division sooner rather than later. And I think that tension is already there. And he already has an angle. He has an angle. I did business for years, and because I did business for years, I got injured. Get effed. I'm in this for me now, and people are going to be all over him.
In my opinion, Raw was like, there's not more can be said for Raw at this point, but one thing I will say is they're one pyro from Penta away from burning somebody in the front row. Something's going to happen when they add another spiral fucking pyro in the ring. Something's going to catch fire.
Do you know, I watched the entrance again today. I was watching it in the shop, and do you know the comment I made? What are they going to do for WrestleMania? Because every time he comes out in Raw, it's like a WrestleMania entrance.
There's going to be.
What the hell are they going to do for
They're going to be making clouds. They're going to be making clouds at this point coming out of the stadium. They're going to be manufacturing fake clouds with the amount of pyro they're going to have.
Shawn Michaels and just zip over somewhere.
Yeah, Baz talking about the clip of LA Knight slipping when he jumped the barrier to the ring. I'm beginning to wonder, is he doing this on purpose just to take the piss out of the Unreal Series or something?
I don't know. The Unreal Series obviously nominated for 3 bloody Emmy Awards.
Well, it's either that or else he got shaken. Or like after he made that.
Dave, we can't complain. We're big fans of the Unreal Series.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Yeah. We'll vote for it. Don't worry. That's for sure. They're the best white chocolate chip cookies. Are deadly. Yeah, I like the other one, Sharon, as well. The ones with the cranberry in them as well is quite nice.
Oh no, cranberry doesn't belong to cookies.
No.
Ooh,
lads, I told you. Got to come over to the posh side of the world.
You lost the moral high ground to dry bread.
Wait till you try them. When you try, yeah, I'm not going to lose a battle against dry bread with white chocolate cookies with cranberry. Come on, give over.
Yeah, you will.
Right, we spoke about this last week as well. Looking at
Yeah.
Mania and the way it's shaping up, are we getting a bit excited now? Do we feel we're on the road? Do we think this could be an absolute Mania that could knock it out of the park?
I think Becky and AJ needs a stipulation match.
I'm looking forward to the entrances.
I think it's all right, to be honest with you.
No, every single one of those matches individually, as long as they're done the right way, it's an excellent match. It's really good. I think we're in. Like Cody said it, bell to bell. It's going to be a good WrestleMania.
Well, the best thing about this graphic is the best thing about this graphic is the fact that Roman has shit on his fingers and he's finally smelling it.
Whoa.
Becky's wearing glasses.
Yeah,
And Jacob and Drew look the exact same, only for Jacob's got slightly better teeth.
Glasses.
Yeah, try
for his career.
Yeah, try them this week, Sharon, and report back to the panel next week. You'll be well impressed. Well impressed.
Yeah,
so
my cookies.
Why is
So we probably have. What have we got there? We probably have the guts of a night there. I know it's going to be spread across two, but we've about the guts of a night. So we're still waiting for about another 5, 6, 7 matches to be announced.
Yeah, we'll get Grande versus Grande, Mask versus Mask. We'll get
Dom and Finn.
We'll get Dom and Finn for the IC title, or we get Finn and JD, maybe, I don't know. We'll have hold on.
The women's match.
There's the Cargill match isn't on there. Rhea and Jade isn't on the graphic.
Good point. Good point.
Trying to think what else. Tag team. We'll definitely have tag team stuff.
They're talking about doing a 4-team one, aren't they?
Yeah, the women's tag team is supposed to be a 4-team. Hopefully a ladder match. I'd love to see a ladder match.
I was so upset that they did TLC on SmackDown after WrestleMania and it was great, and instead they did the New Day versus the Viking Raiders, which was terrible. I think TLC match rode that this year.
Yeah, they need some matches with stipulations because they're always that sprinkle of like the little bit of carny sprinkled in there for the crowd who want that, you know.
Bonkers! I'll get onto my graphic guy, aka X.
Guys, what stipulation would you inject into any of these? Like if you had to spice up any of these matches that we have so far, I want to hear from you guys. What stipulations of what match you put in there?
I'll give it an I Quit match or last man standing.
A little bit.
Why though? There has like if you're gonna put a stipulation, there has to be a why. And
there's plenty of reason.
Why.
Plenty of reason.
Like would you have a last man standing, Reigns and Punk?
Yeah, maybe. Like that's a blood rules match or a bloodline rules match, though, right? I mean, it's like conceivably you can have that, but all I'm saying is it's all well and good saying let's throw a few stipulations in there. However, I'd like to know the why as well.
It's a hypothetical, Brian. It's not exactly like we're going to deep dive into it. I mean, what would you like to see? I know there has to be a why, but for example, Drew and Jacob have thrown each other off the ledges of buildings at this point. What would you put them in a Hell in a Cell? What would you do there? Brock versus Obafemi.
Brock versus is a spectacle in itself. Mm-hmm. You don't need to gimmick that match.
Okay, so Becky and AJ, we've already had one of them where it's normal and AJ's won, albeit with a bit of help from.
I do think that needs a stipulation match.
What stipulation would you give it though?
Me, a street fight or something.
A street fight, but then what do you do? How many street fights do you want on the card? I'm not trying to be awkward. I'm not trying to be awkward.
We may as well not even bother bring a fucking ring cell. Just have to batter each other around the street of Vegas.
We don't want Becky in another hardcore.
Sharon, just to let you know, they're in little, Sharon. They're in little.
The posh little though. You have to go all the way.
Yeah, they're in the posh oil though. They're not in where Bren gets
all the way down to Greystones.
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed in the little that Noel goes to.
just to let you know, little and Greystones is the same as every other little on the planet, pal. It just depends what oil you frequent. You'll find Bren in the ZX Cola oil as he moves around from the bakery oil from the rolls. I'm in the biscuit connoisseur oil and I shouldn't be. Don't tell my wife.
You're not even on. Swear to God.
David says AJ versus Becky in a ladder match. I think if you're going to have a ladder match, you probably need a bit more in there than that. Yeah. Maybe they could do a ladder match for the tag team one because there's 4 teams in it or something like that. That might be pretty cool. Something like that. But I think if you've only 2 in a ladder match, I think it just gets a little bit lost.
Something on a pole match.
Are we all enjoying the storyline so for all of these matches so far? Or
Suppose.
I mean, I think the answer to that question has been in the weekly shows. You know what I mean? And they've been inconsistent. So the storylines can only be described as inconsistent. The best storyline on the card, in my opinion, or the most consistent, Randy Orton has been an absolute diamond. He's been a diamond. And I suppose Punk and Reigns as well, but it's copy and paste each week. And then Drew and Jacob. Actually, heavily, yeah. I'm kind of enjoying a lot of the stories. All right.
Don't tell them, Sharon. Shh. Meet you in the posh oil.
Oh, don't tell Anto.
Anto knows. He'll be the recipient of some of these biscuits in his lunchbox. Don't worry about that. Listen. I have to say I'm much more positive about WrestleMania and the direction it's going now. And we do still have 3 weeks to lay down even more stuff and all, So looking forward to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar at some stage is definitely going to come out with a necklace on and do a dance down the aisle, isn't he? 100%. He will ramp it up. There's no doubt about it.
Oh my God, that would be
it's gonna happen. Remember he did it with Eddie? Remember with the Mexican stuff with the sombrero and all in the band?
Yeah.
There's rumors that
it's 100% coming.
Do you know the way there's rumors that he's retiring in SummerSlam? Well, I heard a rumor the other day that it's actually he's going to go out at WrestleMania. Basically, I'm not sure if that's true. In fact, I don't think it is.
Grant, I think he'll hold on to next year's WrestleMania. He's not going to miss out on that Saudi money.
No, he'll retire in Minneapolis.
Keith, the way things are going, we might all be missing out on Saudi, not just WrestleMania.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see. Does everyone think Obafemi wins here?
Yeah, he has to.
No.
Yeah, certainly.
No, he doesn't have to. But does everyone think he's going to?
Brock has put him over enough on television. I think Brock's going to win at Mania.
But what's the purpose of that?
I think if Brock is winning, I think shenanigans are going to be involved.
Unless you have to make him look really strong over like Obi if Brock's
Brock's going to get squashed at Mania. Like
he's not going to get squashed, but you don't stop the Oba train. The Oba train is moving at full steam ahead, and it's incredible to watch.
Niall's holding his
Bren, how many times has this train to Las Vegas derailed in the last number of months?
Well, the Oba train, I'm on board, so choo-choo, baby. He's going all the way.
I know.
Is he going all the way to the title, Bren?
I just put an order on Amazon today for another hill. I'm running out of them.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Now that we have people assembled here, so we have a lot of the Cody fan base here tonight in the chat and in the panel.
One person?
No. We've at least 5, I would say, because Sharon's a fan, Dave's a fan, and Anto's a fan, and Bren's a fan, and there's probably more fans. I want you to explain to me about.
Sean is fairly sensible.
So I want you guys as judge, jury, and executioner to explain to me how you accept your boy charging 10 grand for a trip around in his fucking bus for 20 minutes.
I'll explain it in 3 letters. And you
don't blame TKO. Don't blame TKO.
It is TKO.
This is his fucking bus.
Do you think Cody? Hang on. Do you think Cody Rhodes is sitting down there? It's like, well, if I charge, and he's doing the sums. What 9,000? First of all, we know it's sold out. So there's fans out there with money.
It was only open to 12 people. Let's get that started, okay? So let's not get.
I wasn't aware of that.
Let's not crash this. The other thing is, you think the guy who does a podcast every week who looks like it's from O'Brien's Wines Off license with that Wheatley vodka and all the other shit that he peddles. You think this guy didn't come up with an idea and say, and this is his new camper. So let's pay for the new camper. 12 people, 10 grand a pop, 120 grand. Well, I want to hear it from all of you. I want to hear it. And in the chat as well.
Noel,
all you people.
I think it's outrageous. I think it's outrageous that you're turning around and you're saying that it's not Cody Rhodes. It's not Cody Rhodes. It's TKO. This is this isn't Cody Rhodes is going to get his WrestleMania payday, but this is TKO. He'll get paid for the meet and greet that's involved.
You think some guy sitting in Vegas in the TKO offices turned around and said, "You know what we're going to do? We're going to organize a trip around Vegas in Cody Rhodes' new camper van.
Yes.
And we're going to get 12 people to pay us 10 grand a pop."
Yes.
And you think Thunderbirds or Go is sitting there all innocent, not involved in this at all. someone's picking up the wedge on that new camper van, and it ain't Cody Rhodes.
But Niall, it's like this. If you go onto the website, there's other experiences there as well, and it's absolutely evident and clear.
I'm about to get you to send me your credit card details so I can book you for this pasta class in Italy. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I'm
on government money. I can't afford that. We know that. However, 9,950 to turn around and say, yeah, Cody sat down and did the sums. No, he didn't. This whole Cody, it's not true. It's just that, and I can't prove it, but you can't prove otherwise either. And that's it. You can't.
This will all eventually come out in the wash, and you'll have a lot of explaining to do.
And I'll be accountable. But in
about 10 years' time, when these WWE files are released from the vault, and we find out that these guys were all behind this, you will be having a lot of explaining to do.
That man doesn't lie.
Cody's ripping his fans for 120 grand, and you're sitting there saying he is. If it was TKO, there wouldn't be only 12.
You know what?
Look, one's already.
No, sorry,
one's already abandoned you. Look, of course,
Sharon is
But I don't think he walked into the TKO. So you're telling me, right? The other way is he walked into TKO and said, "Lads, I'm after getting a new bus. Let's start selling selling tours."
Yeah, look at that stretch. This is the guy who's just walking around with just gallons of Wheatley vodka, and you think this is not what this guy would do. Sharon, welcome to the other side of the tracks, by the way. You are welcome. Welcome to the fan club. Let's go, baby. One down, 5 to go.
Let's go.
Yes. Cody dresses exactly like Michael Douglas in Wall Street. Greed is good, my friend. He has done this 110 per fucking cent.
Cody dressed like that on the Indies.
I don't know. I feel.
I'd also like to highlight the fact, Bren, that you run within a group of 12 people that also paid 10 grand each for this privilege, because I presume they're Cody Rhodes fans. I presume they're not RV camper van fans, that they're Cody Rhodes fans.
I would say they're influencers that want stuff for their Instagram.
No, they're
wouldn't
not.
Even say they're real fans. And maybe they are. And if they are, fair dues to them for earning that money and being able to pay that. I wouldn't
say they're real fans. 10 grand for a 1 hour bus trip. 10 grand.
No, Niall.
They're way much more fans than we are.
Niall, it goes past 1 to 2 iconic Las Vegas landmarks. He's only going around the corner and back.
Those 12 Cody Rhodes fans need to be brought down to that Welcome to Vegas sign and shot in the head like fucking Tupac.
Hold on.
That's what they spending 10 grand on a bus trip.
Let me just say this, right? Cody, of course, is 100% going to benefit from this. Of course he is. He's definitely going to benefit from it. But I don't accept. Sorry, the middle of my sentence interrupting the start of yours. I don't accept for a minute that this is his idea. I know it was pitched to him, and I would say he said, "Yeah, of course I'm in. It's money."
Oh, you know that you've got that on
because
email,
you do it. Evidence. Dave would do it. Sean would do it.
Would I fuck?
Keith would do it. Yes. Here, listen. Here, Sean.
10 grand to see that fucking nuns. Go away with you.
Well, first of all, that's a different conversation that we're going to have. Yeah. What I'm saying is,
if
12 people said to you, 10 grand pop, and we get a tour of your gaff in Tala or wherever you live.
What do you want to go Tala for?
Okay, that's all.
You just live in Tala, mate. I mean, you're on your own there.
Yeah.
Nice money.
I would.
Anyway.
I don't know. Would I do it? I feel like
you would absolutely do it. Of course, you do it. If you're going to benefit from that, you do it as well.
I'd be like
you're a businessman.
Yeah. I'd be like Bora. I'd knock on his door and go, "Is it okay for me to make?"
I get free tours. I get free tours of the shop every day.
But Niall, as a businessman,
I don't even charge.
As a successful businessman, even you would say, if the opportunity was there and you had that notoriety and people were going to pay that money, you would absolutely take that.
Do you know what I decided today? I was thinking about it. These 12 people that have sold this out, I'd love to find out where they live so I can just set up a wrestling shop beside their gaffs.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Well, look,
100%.
Why people coming into me arguing with me about the price of a loose figure?
It's very hot.
These lads are booking 10 grand bus trips.
Stingy
Brian,
bag.
this is
How much is my
disgusting.
super
Like
crazy figure?
10 grand. Like
But Keith, calling Cody Rhodes a nonce, that's a different conversation.
What?
We'll have this. You call Cody Rhodes a nonce.
Doesn't even make sense.
Who?
I mean,
He's not a nonce. Keith did. He was like, I wouldn't do that. I'm not like that nonce. Keith,
Jesus.
don't make that.
Yeah, Keith, it's an RV. It's not a kid's skill bus now. Come on, let's get real. Here, you know what I mean? Let's keep it 100 here,
by the way, guys, Sean cannot accept money to tour his house because Sean's in Dundalk, and if he does that, he'll be questioned about funding a certain Irish Republican.
But regardless,
The
I
Irish
want everybody.
ordinary.
I want everybody on this panel to tell me here and now. Look me straight down the camera. Hang on, and tell me that if you got the opportunity to earn 120 grand for an hour's work, you wouldn't do it.
Brian, you said he's not involved.
No, what I said was he benefited from it, but it wasn't his idea.
So what's
That's
the
all I'm
difference?
saying.
It's his camper van.
Because the way you opened this was, you were like, well, do you know what? the way you opened this was, well, Cody came up with this. He was certainly sitting there doing the sums. Here, Dave, less of the Macarena. Like
And
I said,
you don't think he was. You don't think he was involved in the initial conversations on this.
I think they asked his permission.
His
I think
property.
they came to him with an idea, and they said, "Listen, this is what we're going to charge. Here's your cut." And he said,
Here's what we're gonna do,
all right.
baby.
And if this is the guy who wants to take pictures with all the kids and with the fans and give away weight belts and do all this kind of thing, why didn't he say no? If he's a man of the fans, why is he saying yeah to this?
Because he does
Why
that
is
other
he
thing
allowing-
anyway.
why is it-
As somebody
What do
who
you
has
mean anyway?
met Cody, as somebody who has met Cody on numerous occasions
For 3
three
seconds.
times. No, I had a few minutes with Cody on a couple
5.
of different occasions, and as somebody who's met him,
Five.
You're not getting a few minutes with him anymore now.
the last time I met
Cost
Cody,
about 10
right?
grand.
Do you know what he did? Even the people that didn't pay for the meet and greet, which was set up by Inside the Ropes, he went down and he shook every single person's hand and he said thank you to their face.
Indies
is
are
phenomenal.
beggars. Indies are beggars. He's gonna do that anyway. He was on the
He
Indies.
he was a millionaire before he went into the Indies.
Thanks for your support. Anyway, 10 grand, no one gets hurt.
Anyway, look, I don't want to bash on about this.
Brian, would you
Yes,
actually
Steve.
spend that type of money? In all honesty, if you had the chance.
If to go on a
Bus.
2-meter bus trip with Cody Rhodes.
Keith, the quick answer is probably yeah. If I had the money, probably. But I don't know what it's like to have Cody money. Either do you, and either Niall might, but either does anybody else here on the podcast know what it's like to have Cody money. And
He's
The
out
reality-
Niall as a fucking millionaire on the
We're not
podcast.
even monetized, for Christ's sake.
I know.
We're doing
I know,
this shit for free. Maybe I should start charging 10 grand for a Pro Wrestling Weekly episode or something.
Look, we will be.
Sake.
Look, I don't
Right.
know.
Hey.
I think TKO are the sole existence of the awfulness of this company.
Yeah.
Fair.
And they want to sell it because they're not happy with it, as if they're not the ones that dug the hole and threw the fucking company in the first place. And this is ridiculous. Under no circumstance. Do you know how much I pay to get on a bus? There's
€4.60.
There's one that goes from outside college to town, 75 cent. The one
Do
that
you mean
brings-
Dublin city centre or
And
town?
two strips
No,
of Wrigley's
out
Spearmint.
and loud on
Oh, no,
student discount.
Dundalk.
Riding that student discount, Sean. Well done.
Yeah. And if I want to get a flexible ticket on a train to go to Dublin, it's $3.70. And if I want to get the bus home to beautiful Cavan, $5.75. Right?
Wait till you become an adult, though, Sean. You pay those full price tickets, pal.
I'll live forever.
I just
15 years old.
think personally, right? Personally, from my point of view, and I've said it before, even I said it before, like these guys would sign up for anything that has a dollar bill on it and stuff like that. But I think when you look at this and you look at what's going on in the world and you look at the cost of living crisis and everything that everyone's going through at the moment,
Yeah.
I think if you have any kind of moral compass at all, you should stand up and just not let this happen. And I don't just mean Cody Rhodes. That goes for the Undertaker shit.
Yep,
It goes for this
absolutely.
clash in Italy shit. It goes for all this on location shit that's going on. And the problem is you've got fans out there at the moment who are absolutely wealthy and will pay anything to get up close and personal with these guys. And if that's the case, that's fine. But like next year, the bus tour will be 20 grand. And it just escalates and escalates and escalates. But I think if you're a wrestler in there, like I just think at some stage you have to have some sort of a moral compass and turn around and go,
Yeah.
you know what? This is bullshit. Because this reflects on these guys. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
TKO might sell WWE in 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is, and they'll be out of the place. But everyone's going to be talking about it. And you're right, Sharon, it's not just Cody. There's a lot of them at it at the moment. I see Becky and Seth now are going into the coffee business and also, like it's just when is enough enough? These are multi-millionaires. When is enough enough? The general basic down-to-earth wrestling fan can't even go and watch a fucking show anymore.
They have a lifestyle that needs funded. They have a lifestyle that needs funded, and they'll keep funding.
In all reality, right, all messing aside, and I wasn't really messing when I was talking about Cody, but I completely agree with you. This is disgraceful. It's disgusting. And to see the 37 grand ticket as well for the front row, disgusting. To have a drink with the Undertaker, it's 8.5 grand. Absolutely disgusting. It is.
Bren, is that the most expensive ticket for WrestleMania? 37.
Is that this year? Is that this year he's doing it, Bren?
No, the most expensive one is 55,000.
Yeah, it goes up to 55,000, and I think you get a handshake. And but for that, I'd
want to be getting a hand job, not a handshake.
Well, I'd want first class flights. I'd want first class treatment. I'd want to be picked up by a limo. All messing aside.
Picked up by a limo? You want to be picked up by the space shuttle? A fucking limo. 55 grand. You could retire to the Maldives for 55 grand. You could live there for a year like a king.
I know.
You know the way you're sitting that. You're sitting that like that wavy river pool, and those big circular breakfasts just float by with all the fruit and everything on it. No, that's what 55 grand gets you. Picked up by a limo. I used to book limos for the lads for $150 when we were going to WrestleMania. You want to get picked up in a limo?
Bren,
get picked up in a fucking
Bren,
in one of those SpaceX rockets or something.
Bren, you could go to Thailand and be surrounded by I can't believe it's not women and have that like lovely, food everywhere and be in a villa, 5-star villa, and you still go home with 54 grand.
No, I know. And look, there's no place for this in professional wrestling. And I dare say, like, I don't mean to mention his name, but Vince McMahon was all about the family. And I remember he made a point at one stage, the last cost of living, of making sure that tickets were accessible for $25 and $30. And they may not have been in the best seats, but you're not approaching this kind of pricing. And again, that's not a justification for McMahon to come back. Stay away, whatever. I don't care. But it's a case of there's no place for this in professional wrestling. It was successful without this shit, and it can be and it can continue to be successful without it. This is bullshit, and this is price gouging at its worst. It's horrible.
I said it already. If you stand long enough in the queue, they'll make a fucking action figure of you to sell. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
Here's a question for you: If the Saudis,
Dave, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, but this 316 day is just another marketing ploy for people to buy shirts and stuff like that. Man.
Sure, he didn't even bother showing up.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, and too right. He's like, you know what? Piss off.
The Elwin in the front row delighted she's not eating an RV.
God bless her.
Right, let's move on anyway from it anyway. But we will continue to call these out because it's an absolute disgrace. Right, Keith.
We didn't talk about Bren paying for pasta. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Bren about this. I think it was after the show, wasn't it, Bren? We were talking about it would be a good discussion to have about all the wrestlers that should be in it and the ones that don't really deserve to be in it, to be honest with you. Like, for me, off the bat, obviously, Sharmell shouldn't be in it, for instance.
My God.
She shouldn't, Bren.
No, sorry. No, here, hang on a minute. I'm looking at Niall's slide, and I'm seeing the fact of some people. Rick Martel, who I did a short on the other day.
Actually, yeah, no, to be fair, there's so
Brian
many
Pillman, King Kong frickin' Bundy, the Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldog isn't there. Where's Victoria? This is bullshit.
Does Sable need to be in it? I don't think so.
Yeah, Sable should be in it. Of course she should be in it.
I don't think she should.
And Lex Luger is in it. But
they wouldn't put Dynamite Kid in there.
Luger is in there. Luger was last year's.
Yeah. But yeah, bullshit.
Pillman not being in there is crazy. Same with
Is there a reason why Pillman's not
here?
There?
Pillman and Owen Hart. I'm going to say this is going to be controversial, right? And people probably won't agree here. But Brian Pillman and Owen Hart. Well, Owen Hart, I agree, should be in there. Brian Pillman was just getting into the Attitude Era at his peak when he unfortunately passed away. Would you look at his career previous to that and say it's Hall of Fame worthy? Probably not.
Well, probably, yeah, because like the basis of this discussion, Dave, was when I was talking about Rick Martel and the short, and the idea was there's some people in the Hall of Fame that still shouldn't be there, and I would argue that you could be right. However, Pillman deserves to be in there more than other people that are specifically.
I agree with you, but I don't think he should be in. I think he's more worthy of a lot of other people in there, but I don't think he should be in there. I don't think he got the chance to do enough to be in there. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. He couldn't have had the chance, but I mean, Owen Hart unfortunately was taken too soon. But he had an immense career even before that.
I don't think.
But I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, and I bring this up every week, and it's unfortunate that Emma or Sean O aren't here to defend this. But the reality of it is, the Bellas are in the Hall of Fame, and they should And you look at the people that are what metric are we using here? Has to be a great wrestler, great showman. What metric? How are we doing this? Either way, the Bella
There's no metric. They don't use any metric. There's no metric because if you look at the peaks and troughs and the cycles and stuff like that, no one is sitting down going, you have to tick this box, this box, this box.
I know.
Now we know obviously some of them don't go in because if they have passed and stuff like that and circumstances and maybe the family in the estate don't want them to go in or whatever it is and stuff like that and all, Yeah, so there's other issues there as well. But also, I don't think it purely just sits on your WWE career either.
No, it doesn't.
There has to be a broader view of that. You know what I mean?
Like Brian Pillman had Flying Brian in WCW, and he was a lower mid card at best. And when he came into
the tag team with Steve Austin,
Hollywood Blondes,
and they were very good,
but they didn't last very long.
No, see the problem with the Hall of Fame is as well. You'll always make an argument for there's people in there who have done less, and there's people not in there who have done more. And you can make that argument about anyone who's been inducted in there.
Agreed.
That's but I don't know. It's a difficult one as well, and I mean, there's controversy there as well with the dark side of the rings and various different things like that. I mean, if you look at one and all, it's a tough one to watch and stuff like that for a number of reasons and stuff, So,
well, look at the lads that came back on NXT there a couple of weeks ago, and it was great just to see them there, to see their presence there. They have aura about them. This is William Regal and Fit Finley, for example.
They deserve to be in there.
110%. Get them in there yesterday. In terms of women, Victoria, where is Victoria? Is Jazz in the Hall of Fame? I don't remember.
No.
But there's absolute quality out there. But no, you're right in what you're saying as well.
And listen, we're assuming as well that people want to go into the Hall of Fame. We're also assuming as well that that people, just because people aren't in there, we're assuming that they haven't been asked. They might have been asked, and maybe whatever way the deal works or whatever way it happens with the Hall of Fame and the link into WWE and the tie-in there, and the estate and the family and the image rights and whatever else they go through. I don't know how it all breaks down. Maybe the family doesn't need that. Maybe you look back on a situation like maybe if you're a son or, if you're a daughter of, say, the Dynamite Kid, maybe with what happened and how it all played out and stuff like that, maybe you don't like the world of pro wrestling. Maybe you don't want to be associated with it. Maybe you want to create distance. I'm only using that as an example. I'm not saying, myself.
No, you're right. You're right on a few.
We had Bronwyn on the podcast as well. We spoke to Bronwyn and stuff like that. And I know Ian's very close with Tom's son and stuff like that and all.
He's in AEW at the moment as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a different kind of thing. We know obviously the Owen Hart situation. We know the reasons behind why he's not going in, and the WWE link and everything that happened and all, the tragedy of it and all. And we get it and we understand it. Doesn't deny the fact that he definitely belongs in there. But let's see.
I don't think Rikishi should be in there personally. That's just me.
You don't think who?
Sorry,
Rikishi shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he should.
That's just my thing.
He was the head. He was head shrinker. He was the Sultan. He was cool.
He was the king of dead gimmicks. Brendan,
he definitely had a long enough career in there to go win. There's no doubt stuff like that. Whether you place him within a class or what way you do it and stuff like that, that's a different conversation. But there's no doubt he's when you see other people
In hindsight, they probably put him in because they didn't want him to moan about it on his podcast and say it's only because he's Samoan.
Should
Yeah.
Vince Russo?
True.
Well, to be in the Hall of Fame, you need to leave a mark on wrestling. And he certainly did that, but it was a skid mark, more like.
Yeah, it's similar to say, I don't know, the difference between, say, the Dudley boys, they deserve to win. Bubba Ray Solo, not so much. I get what you're saying.
Literally have not heard anyone suggest Bubba Ray should go in solo or any of the Dudleys.
TNA Hall of Fame as Bully Ray, yes, but not as Bubba Ray.
Hell no.
Yeah, no.
No way.
But
Should never have held the world championship, but that's another discussion for another day.
Pillman should be there. Lex Luger, I can't believe isn't there.
He is
Bam
there.
Bam.
He went in last year.
Oh yeah, why is he in this? Why is he in this?
He
graphic?
stood up, remember?
It's
He stood up and did the hook.
Yeah,
Oh,
amazing
I see.
man.
Bam Bigelow should be in there. 100%.
He absolutely
He was there.
should.
He
Bam Bam
got,
Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow should be in
he got inducted last year.
Yeah. God, I don't know. I do think, especially now in hindsight, I don't really think Trump should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he should be out of the Hall of Fame, but the problem is most of the WWE higher ups are campaign contributors, so he has to be in there.
He should be put on the wall.
The other thing about it is
nailed to the wall.
No, the thing about Trump, right? Politics aside, he shouldn't have been there in the first place. Nothing to do with what he's doing lately. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. It's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of the celebrity that shouldn't be there, in my opinion.
Snoop
Trump
Dogg's
is
in there.
one of them.
Kid Rock is in
But
there.
why shouldn't people? Why shouldn't people in the celebrity wing who have had links to wrestling down through the years and stuff like that be in? I'm just gonna say Cyndi Lauper shouldn't be in there.
She should there. She should be
She
in there.
should.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock and Wrestling Connection.
Yeah,
Well, if you're gonna then, and why shouldn't Snoop be in there? Trump be in there? Forget about what's going on at the moment and the craziness of the world and the WWE down through the years and his stadium.
WrestleMania
whatever
4, wasn't it?
It is and
4
stuff
and
like
5.
that.
Both of them,
Pete
back-to-back
Rose is
4 and
in,
5, yeah.
You know, why shouldn't like if you're gonna have a celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame, you have to accept the fact, okay, you're gonna get again that crazy cycle of who you believe should and shouldn't be in there. You know, Muhammad Ali, Bob Uecker, Liberace, you know, Alice Cooper, Limp Bizkit.
Anyone who's involved in
Motorhead.
the first WrestleMania, I understand.
Limp Bizkit
like,
should- Motorhead. I can't believe now that Triple H is in charge that Motorhead haven't got inducted.
Lemmy should be in there on his own and Motorhead.
Yeah, but we're arguing against the Celebrity Hall of Fame as well. So
Was Lemmy? I thought Lemmy was not inducted.
I don't
I
think
thought
so.
he was.
No.
Was he?
No.
No.
Is he?
Not to my knowledge.
I thought-
You'd
Let me
Probably
check. Let me
Oh,
just check
get
here.
off the podcast.
double check it, but I thought
No, because a lot of people have been saying, like, how has it been this long and they've not been in the Hall of Fame? Crazy.
I can tell you now, it's thinking theme has been a popular candidate. Not there yet.
didn't he?
Yeah, is Ozzy Osbourne in it? I think he is he?
I don't. Why is Psycho Sid going in as the legacy? Why is he not going on his own? That's what I don't
I
get.
don't know.
Ozzy went in, didn't he?
They rebranded it, I think, or something like that.
Like, that's
Because-
ridiculous. He should be going in his own.
Because the deciding committee only had half the brains that he did.
Just a heads up, Noel, your internet's going in and out, and that's why people
Yeah.
are kind of talking over you. Just a heads up to yourself. I think you're all good now, though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on this end anyway.
It's because he
Yeah.
only has half the brains the deciding committee has, probably. But no, it's
Only half the
shit. You
Wi-Fi.
know, yeah, better to be in than not in. But the fact that it's a legacy award, so it's not even like properly in there, and the fact that they've done it years after he's passed away.
Yeah, because I thought the legacy wing was the ones that they just mentioned in their 10s and 20s, like just passing through on the Hall of Fame.
I think the
That's what I
same.
thought they were.
The same thing happened to Kamala last year.
Yeah.
Well, and what is I got confused with that and the Warrior Award. That's what I got confused with. And now, obviously, they're not the same thing, but the legacy
That's
wing,
gone
like
now.
I said,
I think the Warrior Award's gone now, is it not?
which is a shame.
Should be the
Really,
Macho
I
Man
mean-
award now.
Because Dana Warrior's contract ran out and she never renewed.
But I think the Warrior Award should still be there for what he said in his Hall of Fame speech. It's the referees that should be going in. It's the guys in the back, and one of them. And if you do one of them a year, you're gonna have one of them forever. Like, do you know what I mean?
Should be the Durst award now.
Charles
Yeah.
Robinson, shoo-in.
100%.
Little Nate.
Myself and Sean O met him outside the house show, and he was late and on in a rush to get in, but he still was talking to people and taking pictures. Gentleman. And then at the end of the show, he was taking down the ring. Like, absolutely doesn't get his juice.
Mike Chioda is a party animal.
I seen a video of him taking down the ring, and he was wearing a leg cast.
I've seen that, yeah.
See that one?
Yes.
Charles.
So look at the ramps he has to run down the Manias, man. His knees would be bust.
I don't know how he doesn't flip and go on his ear on the way down those ramps. The way he runs as well. Yeah.
It's deadly.
It's mad.
Deadly.
Right, we'll move on from it because it's always a contentious point and something to be spoken about. That's for sure, you know. So, but very, very interesting. But I think you kind of need to. We all need to step back from it at times and look at it for what it is and stuff like that, and
Is
not
the
get
Freebirds
heated
in it,
about.
by any chance?
Freebirds are in there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
All three of them went in 1 year.
yeah.
Hilarious.
Terry Gordy.
I'm surprised Miss Elizabeth's not in it.
I think that's because of the whole. Yeah, I'm quite surprised because Luger went in, Macho Man is in, but she's not. How does that make sense?
That's
But
weird.
again, like Niall said, it could be down to the family, it could be down to the estate. It could
Given
be
how
down
she
to
passed away,
factors.
yeah, that doesn't surprise
Exactly.
me.
100%.
No. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Let's talk about a few topics, starting with this man. What did we make of this? I was talking to Darren about this earlier today, and I felt that like the change of the tag belts really was on this as well. I don't see anywhere in a creative meeting on an Unreal show that someone came up and said, we're going to put Damien Priest and R-Truth together and we're going to make them tag champs. So I felt this was kind of a punishment deal. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think?
I think he filmed it and he gave something away for free, and then they didn't like
Damien
that.
Priest didn't know. If you look at Damien Priest, he didn't know. Here's the thing, right? I think WWE are overreacting here. I do. And I think they look worse for it. I understand the thinking behind it. I get it, but I don't like it. And the positive thing is, if it leads to the breakup of the MFTs, great, fantastic. But it is negative, the fact that he's being fined over it. He gave something away for free. I understand that, but if Cody did it, it would be a different story. He wouldn't get half the slap on the wrist.
If Cody did it, they wouldn't have bothered. That's the problem. There's so much favoritism at the moment in WWE. If you're a top guy, if you're a top performer, you're not getting touched. You can get away with more.
Did Brent just put one leg over the tracks there? If Cody did it, nothing would happen. Did you just put one leg over the tracks there? Did you slip there, or what's the story? Yeah.
I wasn't a slip.
So Cody would get a pass. It was not political. It doesn't go knocking on doors and selling bus trips.
Drew would get a pass. Okay. All right. Sheamus would get a pass.
Drew would get a pass. Drew got fucked out of the company one time. What do you mean Drew would get a pass?
Sheamus would get a pass.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Brent's on the other side of the tracks. He thinks he's like Deuce and Domino.
Unless you're top of the card, Bren, unless you're top of the card, you would get punished. It's a different rules for people who are bringing in $1 million of merch every week.
Sean, if you looked at our WhatsApp this week, you don't want to be mentioning Juice and Domino. We had a heated exchange about one dead man. You don't want to be bringing up that Juice and Domino conversation, that's for sure.
They were a class tag. Sure. They were brilliantly presented and packaged tag team, born in the wrong generation. I think nowadays, especially in like NXT 2.0, they would have hit like crack.
You're not skipping now, though.
Best theme music ever. But look, I'll say this. I saw Josh Barnett made a tweet about this, and he's very adamantly against exposing the business and revealing some secrets. And he said, yeah, but people have said, well, what about Unreal? Like, they literally show you. And he said, yeah, but you shouldn't do it. Like, making a documentary is one thing, because that's specifically designed to be filmed, but just filming it in your own time is bad. Now, saying that, the fact that WWE give it away for free on Netflix, and like they literally show you the people discussing the match and what they're going to do, and dissecting.
Hypocritical, isn't it?
Yeah, dissecting the finish.
But it's not, because they don't give Unreal away for free. They get paid for all this. It's not free.
Yeah,
it's
but
encapsulated somewhere in the 5 or 10 billion deal.
But it's a show, right?
This guy gave it away for free. And what this is the Fed showing its control. That you're giving this stuff away. We want to monetize this. I said it already. If you stand there long enough, you'll end up being an action figure. But this is what they do.
But like from what I can remember, I don't even think he filmed anything like overly consequential or detrimental. He just filmed the curtain, right?
Yeah,
so,
but the problem is here it is. What if 30 superstars do it?
Yeah, they're not controlling the narrative. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I did see Tama Tonga went on Twitter and said, "Hey, I got fined. No problem. Made a mistake. Move on." So he seems to be taking it on the chin, which is good.
Did you see the video on X the other day of the guy who hides under the ring?
Yeah,
Kevin Owens was there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But like, you can be guaranteed before he released that,
They
permission
okayed
was
it.
given. He asked.
Yeah.
They okayed it. This wasn't okayed, and the problem is you just don't know what's in the background of any of that rehearsal or video stuff. And these guys wouldn't be looking at it. They'd be just putting it out there going, ha ha, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just, I get it as well. You need to control your content as well so much. You know what I mean?
It's like Fanatics. It's like Fanatics telling all the talent, don't sign anything because we can't make money off it. I hate that company's the worst in the fucking world. It really is.
So So I think the point is he's been made an example of. So 30 people don't do it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's I think that's where we are on it, right?
Let this be a warning.
And
if
the
you want
fact that
there's a lovely shop at the top of Stephen's Green, third floor, WrestleMania. Sorry, Bren hadn't done it yet, so I had to get it in there. You know?
And sometimes
we do loads of videos.
And sometimes I do be there.
Reason not to go number one.
I do too.
Bren Rose.
Sorry, Cozy Roads. Cozy Roads.
All roads lead to Bren.
On an occasion.
Dave, you take this one. Interesting narrative coming out of this over the last day or two as well.
Yeah, pissed me off to no end. Like you've got your top women's star who's gotten to the point where she doesn't even need a bloody title to be in the top of the card. You know what I mean? She's so good. She's gotten past the need to hold the AEW women's title. She's a draw all in herself, and I understand if that's what she wants to do and wants to go to Hollywood and wants to do all this. She's been given movies and all that. Why in the hell would you green light that? Do you reckon
that's the truth, Dave? Do you reckon that's the actual truth? There was talk the other day that maybe she might have fallen pregnant. There was lots of different narratives going out the other day. No one, like, it has actually been confirmed. Like, why would you allow? Arguably, I would think their top star, forget about male or female. I think she's massive in there. And you got All In coming up and stuff like that. And you're just going to let your top talents, you know,
there was a few.
away.
Yeah, the first reason that came out was she was burnt out and needed time off to recover for All In and all this, which is probably believable. Given that the matches she's been in and stuff, I understand if she needs time off.
She's been on a tear for a number of years now as well. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. So like if she needs time off, that's fine. But I don't know where all of the other reasons are coming from, how real they are. Obviously, when you have multiple, you don't know which one's telling the truth. But I mean, there's hardly any reputable sources out there that can turn around, and unless it comes out of the mouth of Tony Khan, even then you question it. You know, it's like this is a
well. It kind of went from unspecified injuries to potentially she's pregnant to potentially she's gone off to shoot movies and various things and stuff. And also,
if she was pregnant, it would have been said. If she was pregnant, it would have been said. She would have came out in the ring and said, like what Naomi done, and said, "I'm having a little starlet or whatever," and she would have done it in gimmick, and she would have been gone. There's no way she would have gotten pregnant and been like, "I'm not going to tell people about this." Yeah. You know, 110%. You know what I mean? But it just pisses me off because I've seen her on multiple occasions, countless occasions now at this point, you know, All Ins and going to Collision and Dynamite and all. And every time you see that entrance coming in, you pay attention. She's a draw all in herself. And if you're coming up to All In, she's one of the first names, if not the first name on the list. Tony Storm, MJF, everyone else. That's how this is stacking at the moment. So, like, you've just gotten rid of one of your top draws, and we'll never fully know the reason as to why. You know, that's what's annoying.
So what I'll do after every AEW pay-per-view and after every week, what I'll do is I'll specifically look for Tony Storm and MJF. Specifically,
exactly.
Or I go Tony Storm first because she's genuine, and I said it last year as well. She got my female of the year last year, possibly wrestler of the year. Absolutely phenomenal. Noel, you said it best. I think she's the biggest star there.
She's a superstar.
I'm not Johnny AEW, but I will search Tony Storm. And I'll see what she's up to. So,
I'd love to get a bottom line as to why. At this point, I just want to know the genuine reason as to why she could be out of action.
It will come out. It'll definitely come out.
We're not even talking the rest of 2026. We're talking back end of 2027. That's even worse.
And see,
So-
Dave, that's why I was thinking that fit in with the pregnancy situation. 9 months to have the kid and probably 9 to 10 months to recover. You're talking nearly 2 years. That's why I thought it wasn't that. I'm like you. I think she wouldn't have gone off without saying it, but that's what that kind of fits in with that timeline. Otherwise, I mean, what sort of injuries would we be talking about? You know what I mean? And like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all up in the air, and you have so many narratives being spun by so many different outlets on X and stuff like that. I don't know which one. I'm not really paying attention to it at the moment until something comes out from Tony Storm or AEW.
Dave as well. They don't have the depth as well, even if they lost her.
No, and I mean it's not that they don't have the depth. I mean they built Tony Storm up. You know what I mean? You have Marina Shafir there, who's supposed to be feuding with Tony Storm. She's really good and up and coming, and she's going to be a big talent in a few years as well. They're at that point now where the stars are coming up. They're not quite there yet, but Tony was the staple kind of holding that entire division together at the moment. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. There's not
once you were feuding with her, there was eyes on you and you were leveling up.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's why Marina Shafir was in there, and the likes of Chris Statlander and all. When Statlander's match against her when she won the title, I thought
even Revolution with Rousey.
Yeah, that was the talking point. So it's a big loss, and I'm really upset over it because, one of the big things about All In is her entrance. What's she gonna do when she had that Butler come out at the last All In Wembley? When she had the Butler come out and introduce her, I mean the English Butler come out and she had the taxi and all that, and she basically took hold of London and went, "I'm gonna make London my entrance," and it was spectacular.
Dave, even the Australian show, it wasn't even part of the show, but it's one of the most viewed videos. She basically did a Tina Turner song at the end, and got the Australian, the Nutbush dance or whatever it's called, and it was bleeding deadly. I watched that video a few times. I was like, "This is class, incredible." Awful shame, awful shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith, just for you.
Right, next slide, please. Next slide.
No. Keith, what do you think?
What I think is they're going to win the title at WrestleMania. That's what I think, and it's 100% happening.
No, you want your thoughts on the 2-year deal. Look at the slide, Keith. Read.
How do you feel about it? I want to know how you feel about it.
Why keep them around for another 2 years? What's this going to achieve? Like, honestly, what is this going to achieve?
Content. Netflix content.
Netflix we're probably going to get another Divas fucking TV show with them that nobody wants. I don't know. I just don't want them around. I know Sean and Emma love them, but I
hate them.
Not you. Not you. Not you. But look, I just don't see.
Hate's a very strong word, Sean.
Niall.
You're right.
I love many of their shirts, Niall. Let's be honest. Over the last 10 years in your store, how many shirts of Brie and Nikki or the Bellas have you shifted?
That were not posted or collected to Cavan.
I would say 2.
There you go.
And I would also say as well, of the 2, both of them may have been Brie mode shirts.
Oh my god.
She's the more, in my opinion, she's the more popular one. Because even
when shorts in 10 years.
Nikki's t-shirts are nicer though.
But even when I didn't like the Bellas, and I still don't, by the way, but even when they were in the Divas era, there was something that I was kind of like, do you know what? I see something in Brie. As a wrestling fan, I see something in Brie. But Jesus Christ, give them the mic, listen to them talk.
Do we know? Yeah, but isn't that kind of their stick? Isn't that what they're doing there? They're there to present themselves. That sometimes they work in a certain way to jar people a little bit. Do they not have a place here in terms of potentially leveling up new talent and stuff like that?
No. Are you indicating that what they do is intentional? So let me phrase that. Are you indicating that they wrestle badly and talk badly on purpose? And I did.
Okay. First of all, I would say they don't both wrestle badly. I think Brie isn't that bad a wrestler, to be honest.
Okay. No, wait, fair enough. Okay.
So there's an argument for that as well. I think what Nikki does is, I think Nikki has found a niche in presenting herself a certain way that gets under people's skin, and she leverages it. Now, you could argue that she's still caught in that Divas period and the way she wrestles and stuff like that. And wrestling has moved on and evolved and trying to get that to mesh and match and all. We've spoke about it on podcasts and stuff like that. But there's no denying the name value that they bring and potentially what they can do for some women's tag teams potentially coming up.
No,
But
That's not me, and that's not me.
But there's also no denying that they represent a time where women's wrestling was used for piss breaks. And that's a horrible thing to say because women's wrestling nowadays is often the best part of the card. And it's amazing to see how it's come on. However, what they represent and what they still continuously bring to the table, they haven't changed their style. And I take what you're saying about Brie, but it's still not great. They haven't changed their style since they started, not really. And they still talk the way they do. And that whole thing where she's like that, and that's our entrance, get a grip. Well, yeah,
that's exactly what it looks like.
Not
Just that.
No, but like I
brought that up in the chat before, Bren. Remember, and I got lambasted.
I do not buy that they are good wrestlers. I
But
don't
Brent,
buy that.
How many wrestlers from that era do they bring back that have changed their style and changed their entrance? Trish Stratus still comes out with the points. AJ Lee still skips to the ring.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because if you compare them to the likes of Trish Stratus, because when Trish Stratus started, she was similar. But hang on, I'm cooking, right? So when Trish started, she wrestled the way the Bellas wrestle now today. But Trish actively off the road did what Liv was doing. She actively tried to get better. It doesn't look like or seem like the Bellas have tried to do that. AJ Lee could wrestle. She was a bright light in what was a really dark period in women's wrestling. Am I wrong?
Don't forget Victoria.
She still skips to the ring the same as she did 10 years ago.
But she doesn't need to change.
You were talking about their style and their entrance and all that kind of stuff.
But they need to change it. But
why? No one else in that era comes back and has changed it.
But other people could wrestle and other people had a good entrance and other people had a positive light on them in that area. So there's no argument there. They needed to change. AJ Lee doesn't need to change because she was actually really decent. She could have decent promo and she was decent in the ring. Trish Stratus got amazingly better throughout the time. Lita was phenomenal. They suck the life out of the wrestling business. And that's what they do. And in fact, every single match that Nikki was part of last year, every single match, she was a joke. And there's no getting away from that.
But Brent, don't forget, she was exposed when she faced Stephanie McCur.
She's exposed in every match that she's in. Every single match that she's in
as well. But most definitely for that.
Come here, like Keith, like I said to you after the SmackDown show, or probably during the SmackDown show, if they come out right at WrestleMania and put on a stellar of a match, or even put on a stellar of a match next week, I hope to God that I have to come onto this podcast and say, do you know what? The Bellas were bleeding deadly. I really want to be able to do that. But as it stands now, I'm pissed off that in 2026, they can't wrestle, they can't talk, and they're still there.
For another 2 years.
That's just how I feel.
So on that concept, basically, then everyone that's in there should be able to wrestle at a certain level, should be able to deliver promo at a certain level, should have to evolve and change everything and all. But none of them really do. Very few of them do. But yeah,
AJ Lee was always a good wrestler.
We're cheerleading at the moment. We're cheerleading at the moment. A guy who weighs about 120 pounds with a painted face shooting fucking t-shirts into the crowd.
but on the flip side of that,
and I'm part of that as well. Who doesn't fucking wrestle or get into the ring? Who just does backstage skits, hokey as hell, going, "You're cursed,"
and
shooting t-shirts in the crowd. And we're all and we're calling it refreshing. We're enjoying
isn't
it.
It telling?
Isn't
it telling that somebody who doesn't even need to step into a ring, that somebody that has backstage, isn't it telling?
Is over as fuck.
Is much better than the Bellas and gets much more of a reaction. It's very telling.
So when he goes away and he comes back in 10 years' time and comes out again, you're cursed, painted face, shooting shirts into the crowd. Are we going to have this same conversation? This guy needs to fuck off. He hasn't evolved.
It might not work, but you know what? It doesn't change my argument because it worked for AJ Lee. She came back. She's been pretty good on the rare times that we've seen her. It worked for Trish Stratus. She came back. She was pretty good.
We've already been on this podcast over the last number of weeks questioning AJ Lee's ring work and also her delivery of her promos.
I believe I've said she's been consistent.
Ask Dave. We have spoke about AJ Lee's promos, how hokey they've been and stuff.
We have. But I've stuck up for AJ.
You didn't disagree. No, you didn't. You didn't disagree when we called out the promo she had with Becky.
Jamie, can you get that up on the screen?
And not only that, we've had Keith just on the show tonight talking about the whole AJ Lee Becky situation and all that. It's not sitting with him. It's not happening.
But then, okay. So then let's take that.
This is a girl in your words who's top of the divas and stuff like that.
Are you actually
was a brilliant wrestler? Okay. No, I'm not comparing anything. I'm just saying.
Are you telling me that AJ Lee is as good as or on the same level as the Bellas? You can't say that with a straight face.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. You're turning around and going, these can't wrestle. They can't talk on the mic. They haven't evolved. Get them out of here. I'm saying to you, AJ Lee hasn't evolved. She was top of her game. Her wrestling isn't as good anymore because we've already seen it. And her promos are hokey as hell. Get her out of here.
She's still 20 times better than the Bellas. I've watched 20 hokey promos in the world.
You have spoke for so long that Sean Mack is now Googling ways to top himself.
I did.
Yeah.
Bonkers is saying, I like the Bellas. They will win the tag titles. Can they wrestle? Yeah, little. Will they defend their title? Often, probably not.
Bonkers, they can't wrestle.
They can't wrestle. They just can't. I mean, look, I don't like pointing out botches, but just look at a Nikki Bella match. Any Nikki Bella match from last year. Any.
If we're gonna start pointing out botches now, like you just bigged up Jey Uso at the start of this show. Are we gonna start leaning on botches now? Are we gonna LA Knight, Jey Uso, Unreal? Are we gonna start leaning on botches now? Are we like botches is the golden child thing or something? No. What are you talking about? Every wrestler makes mistakes.
Right, but you're focusing on one thing that I'm saying, right? I'm talking about a bigger picture. You are 100%. This is what you do. You focus on one thing and you say, well, you said that, and you keep going back to that.
You turned around just now. You want to focus on Nikki Bella's botches, yet less than an hour ago, you were bigging up Jey Uso. I like this guy, that new angry Jey Uso.
No, I didn't.
What I said was been falling through rocks for the last 2.5 months.
What I said was,
Miley, you defending the honor of Northlands.
I just want to make sure that we keep it 100 on whatever narrative we put out there. That's all.
No, what I
Jey
said
Uso, you're out of here. You're out of here.
He was the most He was one of the most consistent part of Raws, is what I said. You like context is king here. Context is king. You can't take something out of context and say, "Well, you said that one sentence there 65 seconds ago."
Nikki Bella's, you just linked into Nikki Bella's botches there.
What I did was,
and 3/4 of an hour ago, you big.
But there's a bigger picture. There's a much bigger picture. Dave, get out of the chat, you prick.
Whoever this Dave is, Dave, you're dead right, whoever that Dave is. Anyway, we're not going to spend our time arguing about Nikki and Brie Bella.
No,
right. This came up during the week. Go back to what? You've already done yourself. It's already. You were cooking and then you died. That pot on that gas overflowed. Now he breaks out the ZX Cola. Game over. Right. A little story came out that apparently Tony Khan or a consortium related to him put in a bid for WWE in 2023, $6.9 billion. And I wanted to ask the question of people, how do they feel about if this had have happened? Where would the landscape of pro wrestling be right now?
In the ground?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Dave and Sean are the most qualified to talk about this.
I think it'd be in a very, very, very bad place. Not like AEW is fine because he can just do what he needs to do off to the side, and you know what I mean. He can do it with his own company. That's fine. But can you imagine that man fronting WWE? No.
You know, when I was lying in bed, Dave, the other night, I was thinking, imagine if we put this man in charge of another invasion angle. Holy moly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have Seth Rollins versus MJF on the card, are you going to watch that? You fucking are going to watch that.
No, but when I think back to the invasion, I think some of the greatest minds in the business of pro wrestling made a bollocks of the last invasion.
Oh God,
can you imagine the lack of quality?
To be fair,
with
the
this one?
WCW side wouldn't come back, and they waited out their contract, so that wasn't entirely on.
WWF could have held it off though, Dave.
But they couldn't. They weren't coming back. They bought them out of contracts and they went home. So.
No, I get it. There's an argument.
You were missing a lot of big talent. Like you could have had Hogan and Nash and all them there. You know what I mean?
That's always the easy out, though, isn't it? Because they made the balls of the ECW side of it as well. Let's be honest here.
That's because half of them were in WWE, but this point
they had the talent available to them. Yeah.
But Shawn Mac was in his nappies, like really angry at that point.
Yeah.
Dave, actually, he wasn't born. He wasn't born.
I was even a fetus, Dave.
Actually, Sean, you haven't lost your head in a while. There was a Sean meter a while ago, and you haven't lost your head in a while.
Yeah, are
you okay?
Yeah, one thing about that Sean meter, you know what? Totally unreasonable and over the top thing I was upset at when I had that meter.
Wow.
I was upset about Travis Scott ruining main event
WrestleMania. Oh, you didn't mention his name.
And for some reason, I got a rage meter out of that.
Well, Sean, thoughts on Tony Khan buying WWE there, pal?
Sorry, I'm getting carried away.
Sorry, you only got a range meter. Brand's after getting like a whole fucking range of mountains and hills.
I mean, Brand and Niall Love have to calm down.
The McGillicuddy brands are right there.
Me and Brand will be up on the Sugarloaf one day knocking lumps out of each other over this.
Yeah.
And you can watch it live on YouTube once we're monetized.
Yeah, damn right.
That'll be our first and last day of being monetized.
I put him up on a cross up there only for Raven and Sandman mightn't appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Sandman made the cross. Look, I don't really think this would do much for Tony Khan. I think AEW have really been on a hot streak the past while because they've been focusing on themselves. They've not really been worrying about anything else. And I think that trying to buy WWE, first of all, never would have happened. Tony Khan could have given Triple H all of King Midas's silver and then some. And he could have brought Lemmy back. And he could have
Frankenstein by your mommy.
But Sean, apparently he was fourth on the list with
called it Tuck and Suck.
Yeah. Wait, Reggie, is that a JCW lunacy profile?
Yeah, Juggalo, baby.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop. I actually watched an episode of that. It's watchable.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Saw PCO and Mickey Knuckles were tag champions.
I like PCO. I'm sorry. I think
I love
PCO.
I met him. He's an absolute gentleman. I absolutely love PCO. Anyway,
the guy goes around stapling lads bollocks to the fucking ring posts and all.
Yeah, he's amazing. I'm amazed that he apparently turned down AEW 3 times. And he said the part of the offer the first time was to main event Double or Nothing against Kenny Omega, the first ever one.
Wow.
Can you imagine Double or Nothing and instead of Hangman and Kenny, it's PCO and anyway, no, I don't think this was a good idea. I'm not surprised at all it fell through. You know, he could have given Triple H King Midas's silver and he could have brought back Motorhead with an all-new lineup, and I don't think they still would have done it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever read.
PCO better than, yeah. PCO
sorry.
is 125,000 years old, and he is taking bumps that Cody wouldn't take, or any human would take, ever. And he shook my hand, and he put a picture. I got a picture of him at OTT at the local Rumble because he was on that show, and he put the picture up on his Instagram and said, "What a great time at OTT. The fans are great. Thank you so much." I felt wonderful. Cody's never done that. You know what Cody did for OTT? Refused to go home, and he ruined Jordan Devlin's main event. Anyways,
I have pictures of that OTT event, and I have pictures of me next to Cody, and he told me we had a little bit of conversation about.
Yeah, but the problem was there, Bren, that you you photoshopped his balls out with your gob.
That doesn't even make sense. He would
never Photoshop that out.
Absolutely not. But no, I don't think Tony Khan buying WWE really would have done anything. No. It would have been a bit desperate. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what it would look like. Well,
arguably,
what would it look like?
Would we not be in a worse position than we were when there was no competition previously? Arguably.
I don't know. I mean, 2019 was pretty fucking daunting for WWE anyway.
COVID time.
Yeah, no, but fair enough. If Tony Khan buys it now, Tony Khan gets accused of booking a show like as if he's playing with his figures. Now, Dave, you know better than I do. That's not a statement by me. I've just read online that Tony Khan books a show like where he's playing with the figures, and that he can't book a show for shit. So if he took over WWE, I don't. Look, there's that picture. That's a nice picture, Sean.
Yeah, an absolute gentleman.
Based on SmackDown recently, I don't think we want to be mentioning action figures or collecting them around like that, do we?
Look at that wonderful shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, but Sean, we know those hardcore guys aren't worth the bollocks. But go on anyway.
PCO literally had a career resurgence, and he feuded with Bret Hart, so I think he is worth his bollocks.
Ooh.
And he actually was in ECW at one point.
The poor bastard.
Yeah, he was in, I think, every company.
Was he not part of the Quebecers? Is that
he was? Yeah, he was Quebecer Pierre.
Pierre Rougeau?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, right? Carl
Oulet. He was Oulet, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, getting a time machine and going to 2018 and telling a fan AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to have a match for the WWE title at WrestleMania. And the best match that weekend would be Big Daddy Walter and Quebecer Pierre. You'd probably just like...
I know the two wrestlers that are better than Cody, but anyway.
You'd probably ask what he was smoking.
I'm going to Edinburgh. Niall, what do you think? Not about Cody, about this, yeah.
He'd be out business.
I just think this would have been absolutely insane. I think we would have had Monday Night Dynamite, and we would have had Sunday Night Heat Raw or something like that. I think he would have tried to bury anything that's WWE. It would have been insane.
I don't think so. I think he's such a big fan, he wouldn't have done that. I think he would have been fucking, I own the shop. I own the shop. He would have been.
If you're dropping 6.9 billion, you're strutting in there like McMahon. I reckon he'd be going down to the ring to No Chance in Hell and everything and all.
But he would rename it AEWWE, All Elite World Wrestling Entertainment. AEWWE.
Rolls off the tongue, that.
Can you bring back all death matches as well?
It's a lot of letters.
Speaking of death matches, PCO versus Steve Macklin under siege. Watch it. It's absolutely fucking insane.
He hates death matches. He's not a fan. Doesn't like that match.
Wouldn't be your thing.
Yeah.
I think Steve Macklin bladed too deep.
I like ECW, but death matches no.
Well, ECW did death matches.
Just on death matches and ECW, right? Not a fan of ECW. Can't stand death matches, right?
Wouldn't have guessed.
What we should do is
he likes it dry, and we know it.
I would love for you to educate me in this, and I'd love for us to report back. Just think about that for the channel.
Educate you on what, ECW or
and death matches, and I'd look for us to report back. So maybe once a week or every 2 weeks, we watch a death match or an ECW event, and we report back. Have a think about it.
All right.
Do a watch along kind of thing. A look back.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched Hardcore Heaven 2000. It's one of the DVDs I have up in my dorm. That's a really good show.
Phenomenal. I think they give them away free in charity shops at this stage, so I'll just go pick one up and we can watch it together.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, exactly like the Adidas top you're wearing there, Brian, yeah?
Excuse me. This Adidas top was bought in Amsterdam.
Stolen, actually. Thank you. Stolen from a charity shop. But yeah, that's it there.
Sorry.
Rhinos.
It's more like it.
Yeah.
It's more like it.
What did Cody Nightmare off?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was my argument as well. I thought Cody would have been here and all, but look, we're not going to complain anyway.
Dave. Nightmare or what? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dave, talk to me. Ticket sales, all in.
Yes, sir. They're shite at the moment, aren't they?
It's not great now. I think we might have a whole section to ourselves, would we?
Look, it's not great, but you have to remember, like, they're putting them on sale now for a show in August, right? Early days, yeah. But like, you look at Mania and how long ago, we often talk about Mania when that Survivor Series start talking about it, which is like what, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So what, 5-6 months? So I think, yeah, we're at that point now where once they start announcing who's going to be there officially, because all they've done is we're putting all in London and Wembley. They've not got any announcements as to matches and stuff like that, which probably won't happen till maybe May time.
How many hold? How many does
the setup? The way they have it set up is 37,000, I think. So the whole, because of this, how big the stage is going to be this year, they're cutting off the back third. So obviously the stage is going to be there, and then the rest is going to be like just around it. But the fact, like at the moment, jump on it because it's 30 quid a ticket. Now I've been up in the gods for both all-ins, and in Wembley there's no bad seat.
Absolutely,
there really isn't a bad seat.
Absolutely.
I was up in the gods for both all-ins, and I absolutely loved it. The fireworks that you can see right up there.
37,000 seems really small for Wembley.
I think he's learned, though. I think he's learned the fact that the second time he didn't sell it out. The first time now he got close to the 80,000 mark, but that was like at the peak where he didn't have any problems. The second one then, after the whole
serious roster, the serious roster as well. Though.
Yeah, and then the second time was obviously after the Punk thing, and he didn't sell anywhere near enough. Still a fantastic show, mind you, but
yeah,
I think this time around he's not playing it safe, but he's being realistic about it this time. Where look, if we can get 40,000 or close to it, I'll be happy with that, because he's had to grow it again from like I said before on the podcast. He went back to 5,000 seater venues and 3,000 seater venues and built it back up to where it is now, and he has to roll with it now and be like 37, 37
and half. And saying that he sold out Wembley, regardless of the numbers, is a statement in itself.
Mate, the first all in, I was, Jesus Christ, I still look back at that going, this was Mania levels.
There was every bit of like whatever it was, 70,000, 75,000.
There was 75,000+ in that stadium, and that was Mania levels. I was shocked when I walked in. Was like, holy, we're actually getting this. We actually have this, like, in our an hour flight away from Dublin, like Belfast, and like we flew down and like.
Remember not
met
knowing
a lot of friends in there and all. It was crazy.
Knowing nothing about Punk, and then when we were going back to the Tube, people were watching the press conference live, and they were finding all this out. Wait, Jack Perry went home. Wait, Punk attacked him. What the fuck?
Like I think the greatest thing about All In is, and I'll do it again this year, is just going down and being surrounded by a sea of wrestling fans as well.
Oh,
it's not just that; it's getting on the Tube. Everyone's in like merch and stuff, and everyone's cosplaying like as wrestlers, and like just the atmosphere is almost Mania levels of.
It's so much fun. Like my parents, when I went the first time, my brother and my parents went over as well. They didn't go to the show, but even on the Tube, they were saying they were amazed how like we could be spotted in the crowd.
Yeah,
because we were looking for something, and then there's like 3 guys in shirts that came over and asked where you're trying to go, and they said, "So go here, get off here." And even just seeing the arch of Wembley and seeing the block of people.
That walk up that you do to the Wembley steps from the Tube station.
Yeah,
I still get goosebumps. Like
the walk to Wembley and then the walk back to the IBS hotel, because they won't let you bring your bag, isn't quite as nice. The walk to Wembley after you can come back from the IBS hotel is
I just the fact that when we finished All In the second time. We were walking. We got the bus because our hotel was thankfully a bus route away, so we didn't need to get the Tube. But there was 10 to 15,000 people who were waiting on the next break in traffic to get onto the Tube, and they sang Judas from start to finish without missing a fucking beat. And this was 10 to. We were standing on the bridge, like me and my wife and 3-4 other people who went over for All In. We're just standing there on the bridge. Didn't even care about the bus. You're like literally watching 15,000 people sing Judas. And it's one of those moments where you go, "This is what it's all about, man." Just. This is what the weekend's all about. Just pure wrestling and having fun.
It was so
amazing.
Cool. Guys, the tickets are so cheap, and just seeing
30 quid.
being in the atmosphere is incredible. It's so worth
to
it.
get inside Wembley for anything at 30 quid is a steal.
Oh yeah.
Regardless.
It is.
How are we feeling? Ted DiBiase found not guilty in the fraud case. Do we think he might get injected into the storyline with Cody and Orton at all? Do we think it might happen?
I think Trump got him off. I'd say Trump got him off. Everyone who does fraud, Trump gets off. If you look at his track record of who he's pardoned, everyone he's pardoned has either committed in serious fraud or embezzlement.
Noel, I think if he's part of the story, it'll be a cameo. It won't be WrestleMania. I think it'll be a one-off cameo, maybe. Even if I don't think they want to take the guy on. You know what I mean? That's my opinion anyway.
Legacy, the greatest stable of all time.
Legacy.
It's so good. It's so good.
One of the
especially the team. Rubbish Randy Orton.
He's definitely better than Cody.
Before we go on to that, I just want to acknowledge the other thing on the last slide, Chuck Norris. Yeah. What a hero. Absolutely. What a man. Survivor Series 94. I'll never forget watching that. I watched that as I think it was an 8-year-old Bren. and it was deadly to see him roundhouse kick Jeff Jarrett. Phenomenal. But also, I used to watch Walker, Texas Ranger. I seen him in the Bruce Lee film Enter the Dragon, or one of the Dragon films, and it was deadly. That man's a hero, and also the Expendables too. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris.
You know, Chuck Norris once told a joke about Will Smith's wife, and then Will Smith stood up and slapped his wife. That's the kind of man he was.
I hear that.
Himself and Steve Blackman, when they left their homes, they told their fathers, "You're the man in the house now."
I remember him watching him. Wasn't he the lead in Missing in Action and Missing in Action 2?
Yeah,
At the time, remember when the Rambos and all were out and stuff like that? He was so cool, Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
And the other significant thing he did, he was able to the dodgeball final between Lobo Jim and Average Joe's.
Yeah.
And he was a deciding factor. He said they could come even though Vince Vaughn showed up late, but the team was there. Oh my God.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
What a man.
Absolutely. Right, this one was a little bit upsetting, I have to say. Sergeant Slaughter on the Orange Cheek, he says, I was the only wrestler at his funeral, which I thought was pretty horrendous. Very, very sad to think.
Very sad.
Pretty bad, all right, wasn't it? Yeah, so I just thought
where was Bob Backlund? Like, do you know what I mean? Like in the light of that. It's so sad.
Horrible. Like, it really is horrible.
He died before Hogan, right? Did he?
Yeah.
Absolutely, Hulk Hogan should have been there. And he did. I think Piper died before him. Yeah, absolutely. Did, yeah. Of course.
Yeah. And not that I question what Slaughter's saying here, but I just wonder. Is that actual factually correct? I wonder, was he the only wrestler?
Or is it because all the others have passed on that there was no one left?
Well, nobody's come out and deny it. But like, I'm even surprised that Duggan wasn't there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he was his mate.
Duggan was extremely sick at the time, wasn't he? Having his own battles with cancer at the time.
Yeah.
Hacksaw's had 2 battles with cancer, as far as I know. So far,
because them two were caught in a car doing cocaine in the 80s, weren't they?
Yeah. Wouldn't put it past them.
Big up, Mark. Hope you're good, pal.
Hey, there he is. There's the son of Niall. Hey.
That's it. The cause is say. Right, we'll take a little bit of history and then get you guys out here. We're overrunning again. So what?
No such thing as
1980. There's only under delivering. 1984, Ric Flair defeated Harley Race to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Singapore. 1997, WrestleMania 13 took place at the Rosemont Horizon in suburban Chicago. Bret Hitman Hart defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin in a submission match, which was officiated by special guest referee Ken Shamrock. The Undertaker defeated Sid for the WWF Championship in the main event to start his second run with the world title.
Terrible.
Include that WrestleMania season and Sid going into the Hall of Fame and all. 1991, WrestleMania 7 took place at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California. The Undertaker, the Ultimate Warrior, defeated Macho King Randy Savage in a career versus career match. After the bout, sensational Queen Sherry attacked Savage. He was saved by a returning Miss Elizabeth, who then reunited with her real-life husband in one of the most iconic WrestleMania moments of all time. Hulk Hogan defeated Sergeant Slaughter to win the WWF Championship.
It's also mad, isn't it?
I actually just watched that event the other day. Actually, very, very good. 2002, the first ever WWF draft took place on Monday Night Raw. As the roster was split in two between Ric Flair controlling Raw and Vince McMahon with SmackDown after the kayfabe split between the two business partners. 2002. 2020, Keith, the cinematic boneyard match between The Undertaker and AJ Styles to be broadcast as the main event of WrestleMania 36 Night 1 was taped on location in Florida. The match was the last in the legendary career of The Undertaker before he announced his retirement later that year.
So good.
Yeah.
In a time 2020, where we
yeah. 2020, the first day of tapings for WrestleMania 36 took place at their performance center in Orlando behind closed doors. It was horrific. For the first time, the event was scheduled to take place in front of a live crowd at Raymond James Stadium. I know because I spent 6 months trying to get a refund in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, and was withdrawn from the venue due to the first wave of the pandemic. I'm not even messing.
That's horrible.
Did they not give you tickets for the year after or something?
No. I like.
Did you get a refund?
We got a partial refund at the end of about 70% for it or something. And then it took me even longer. It took me 4 months to get a refund off the beach shop, off that Hogan lad. Insane. Because we had booked to meet him as well. 2001 on the go home edition of Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania, Vince McMahon revealed on a live simulcast with WCW Monday Nitro from Panama City in Florida that he had purchased the competition, if you remember, and announced that he had bought his competition. Yeah, so there you go. That's your history for this week.
Nice.
We have some notable birthdays to go through, of course. Always a good one. Keith, for you, The Undertaker.
Hey.
1865. No, 1965. Tim White, 1954, absolute legend. 1986, SoCal Val. 1972, the same age as myself, one Charlie Haas. 1967, 1967, Kenta Kobashi.
Nice.
1973, Edward Fatu Umaga. The Warlord, 1962. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, 1958. And, of course, the biggest notable birthday this week, of course, Barry Baz Redden, the Dunboyne World Heavyweight Champion from the chat, has turned. It was his birthday yesterday, so big congrats to Baz on his birthday as well.
Baz.
Happy
Hope you had a
birthday,
good
Baz.
day, Baz. So there you
Nice
go.
one.
The most
What a man.
important notable birthday of this week. There we go, lads. Another show in the bag. Nice debates and back and forward and all that kind of good stuff. And also, really enjoyed it. I wanted to say happy birthday to The Undertaker. Did you really want to say happy birthday to him? There we go. You want to be careful there, Dave. You might charge you for wishing him a happy birthday.
Yeah, it's a good point. Very good point.
Big up, Daz. What's the crack, Noel, in chat? Do you think who do you think will induct Sid and AJ Styles?
I think the Good Brothers should induct AJ, personally. They're his best mates, so I don't see why not.
What about Sid Vicious?
I was thinking someone like Chris Daniels or something like that, or Samoa Joe.
If they can get them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd say you'll have no problem getting Chris Daniels. I'm not sure about Samoa Joe. Depends if Roman allows Punk.
But Gallows and Anderson, if they can't get any of them, because obviously they're
who we thinking Sid?
His family, maybe.
Undertaker.
Yeah, Undertaker's
Maybe,
probably
yeah.
the only one I think of.
Probably the shout, yeah.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And probably if we can't get the Good Brothers, I'd say they'd probably go like John Cena or maybe Shinsuke Nakamura to induct AJ.
You could save money and get Shawn Michaels to induct Sid.
Or Triple H.
Who's going to induct Stephanie? Triple H?
Oh, it'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Shawn
It's
Michaels.
It's not going to be Kurt Angle anyway. If you know, you know.
Shane, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's
Actually,
thinking
there's
about
rumor.
it,
No, there's rumor Shane is coming back for WrestleMania. But we'll touch. I'll touch on that.
Also,
short.
rumors that
I'll do
Shane
it
was in
short.
AEW, so whatever you want.
I really like
Linda
Shane.
McMahon, maybe for Steph.
Linda,
Maybe.
she's too busy in the White House.
She's still in the wheelchair.
There you go. Dave looks like he's about to record a song there. Up to Dave.
Well, to be fair, I did have auditions before I came on the call, so yes, I've been recording.
I don't know, Mark.
Audition.
What's long and black? What is long and black?
Raheem.
Dave's
It
microphone.
has to be a bottle of ZX Cola, I'd imagine. Wouldn't it?
Raheem.
Oh, this bad boy.
There we go. That bad boy, yeah. Question for Dave: what do you think of the AEW card for tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, Daz. Give me a second to have a look.
I do know
I
Kenny
haven't
and
had a
Swerve.
chance.
Kenny and Swerve, and if Kenny loses, Swerve gets his EVP position.
See, I'm all for that. Kenny against Swerve's a weird one, though. But the way Swerve's been wrestling lately.
Yeah, I can't. I don't remember the rest.
Wow, Mark.
No,
I don't think we can show that.
Can we? Let me
No.
just.
Absolutely
No, absolutely not. No.
I love that they've advertised for tonight, though. I will say it's hilarious. The AEW World Champion MJF returns to Dynamite.
Oh yeah.
I love what they're doing with him. Just like everything's a big deal. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Darby Allin against Rush, man. But Swerve and Kenny will be a really good match, I think. Telka against Mina Shirakawa. That's gonna bang. Here we are.
What's the day with your man Rush's new character?
Terrible, awful,
Looks
demon.
weird.
It's the man. I think
Leo
he's trying
Rush
to be a
or
demon.
Rush?
Oh, Leo Rush. He's just Gollum.
Awful. It's
He's just
ridiculous.
Just Gollum.
He's got
There's an
Father
example.
Jack with the eyes.
Leo Rush is an example of somebody who had all the potential in the world, and then this.
Yeah,
Is
then
what
he
he's
then
doing.
he got into fentanyl, and now they're letting him in the ring with it.
He can still go, kind of.
You're gonna tell me they're not contact lenses, no?
He's running on all fours around the ring, Sean. I can't take him seriously.
He's got
And then
Father,
sprints and then takes the dive through the second rope.
he's got Father Jack eyes.
The War Dogs against the Conglomeration tonight, which should be a good match actually. Again, tag team wrestling, folks.
Who in the
Bring it back.
conglomeration? OC and Roderick Strong, is it? Or
Yeah,
Okay.
Roddy Strong and OC.
he hasn't got Betty Davis eyes. He's got Father Jack Hackett eyes.
Don't know what eyes he has, but it's absolutely insane. Right, folks, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like in the video. We hope you're enjoying the shorts and the videos and everything else going out. I will be back tomorrow night at 7:30 to see if we can pull off a miracle. Chechia versus Liverpool. So let's see what happens there.
No.
Should be
Against
very,
Liverpool,
very
yeah.
interesting. So.
Grand stuff.
Sorry, against versus Ireland. If it was against Liverpool, we'd probably lose anyway. So yeah, sorry, losing my mind on football talking about Liverpool.
I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow night's going to be a
Czechia
nervous
versus
wreck.
Ireland. It's going to be very nervous. I would imagine.
Horrible.
I think we're missing a number of players as well, which is tough. And plus, we're on enemy ground and not too many fans allowed into the stadium, and it's going to be a tough one. But if we get through it, maybe we've a great chance then on Tuesday back at the Aviva. Let's see what happens. But until next time, folks. Talk to you again real soon.